Hey guys, this is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here on a Thursday night. And I want to say a thirsty Thursday night, but it's not a thirsty Thursday night. I'm drinking water. But that's what it used to be called back in the day. All right. I got the phone on quiet. I've got the internet hooked up. It's the first class online of the year, and it just popped up that I'm live. And Deb Norman's here. Hi, Angela Knutson. Kathy Groves is here as well. Woo-hoo! You girls are the first ones to the party. So this is the Sale-a-Bration and catalog launch party. It's a Sale-a-Bration card class and catalog launch party. Oh, it's hard to believe that the new year is here already. How fast it hums and it goes, you guys. Oh, thanks for loving and sharing, Angela. I appreciate it. Hi, Sandy Wicklander. Hi, Mary Hernicke. Hi, Sherry Martin. Woohoo! Look at you guys all rolling in. And there's Julie. So we've got a lot to cover tonight, you guys. There's Elizabeth. Hi, Linda Hodge and Penny Powell. I feel like I'm going to do a little bit of talking on the front end, so just to mentally prepare you guys. I don't think we're going to get quite to the stamping in the next few minutes, but we will. Hi, Barb. Barb, I know that you won a card from last week, and I literally left and didn't send any of the cards out. I knew that, but it has been a week. So hi, Sarah. Hi, Randy. Hi, Laura Sullivan. Hi, Karen Wetstein. And there's Vicki and Kathy King. So over on the corner of the table there are the cards from the drawings from last week, and I have to get them into the mail, and that will be my goal for tomorrow. Coming back from the holiday weekend and having the Winter Creative Escape coming up and a new catalog going live, it has been a little bit beyond hectic, so to say the least, which is all good and par for the course in my world. So that's how it goes. Hi, Brenda Little. So better late than always never. So, and I wouldn't say they're late, they're just a little bit prolonged. Hi, Carmen Melendez. Hi, Lisa. There's Patricia Settle and Cindy. Woohoo! Okay. So, and there's Margaret. Awesome. Thanks for joining, you guys. We are going to do a card class tonight. I have 4 awesome cards that feature a new Sale-a-Bration product. You can see in the background, there is a shopping spree board. Hi, Jeannie Parker. Oh, there's a shopping spree board back there, you guys. And it is full. Oh my goodness. I put all the names on of everybody who's placed orders with me since Sale-a-Bration started. Hi, Kay. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for sharing, everybody. I put everybody's name. So every $50 that you order with me, hi, Doris, I put your name on the board. And then once it's full, so 25 squares, I do a $25 shopping spree, and it's full. So at the end of the night, when I do the other drawings for top fan, hi, Arliss, hi, Mary, I'm going to do top fan drawings, the monthly creative challenge, the class card challenge, the bingo. You guys, there's lots of drawings, and I have the ink paper scissors from a few weeks ago to give away. Lots of stuff to give away. So hi, Judy Bobo. Hi, Sandy Zidune. There's Debbie Schultz. Woohoo! So Sale-a-Bration is in full swing. If you haven't figured that out, I'm going to see if you guys can see my background here. Oh, it's hard to make it out, but way back on that opposite table, over right there, all that stuff right there, that's all stuff. Yes. Hi, Shauna. It's all, hi, Joanne. Hi, Julie Bierschbach. It's all, I hope you made it back from Arizona. Okay, Julie. We did get a winter storm, 2 days off of school. Now, I'm not sure here. I don't have kids in school, and I didn't pay attention to it very much. I was in my own little stamping world this week, but we did get like 3 or 4 inches, I don't know, 3 inches. And so I have my cousin comes and does my snow. And so I don't pay attention very much to it. So hi, Gail. So all that stuff over there is Stampin' Up stuff. And I have the Winter Creative Escape coming up next week, you guys. I actually have 2 spots left. I had planned for, like, I had 70 signed up, and I had to order in quantities of 4 for stuff to make things work out. And I did my card kits in multiples of 4. So I have 2 spots open. In case anybody is a Stampin' Up demonstrator or a discount shopper, as long as you're with Stampin' Up, it doesn't matter if you're on my team or somebody else's team, I have 2 openings, and it's going to be a fun-filled day in person, or you could do it via a virtual platform where you can participate watching Facebook Lives. There's 8 make and takes plus a paper pumpkin 3D project. Lots of cards and inspiration and display boards. I have little goodies. I have a Stampin' Up! Bag that I had made. So if anybody was on the fence yet, it's time to get off that fence and help me fill my last 2 spots. So, hi Patsy from sunny Florida. Woohoo! Hi Deanne Estelle from Michigan. So Deanne, we're about a week out now and we can find out what that weather's doing. So I know Deanne's driving from Michigan and Ellen Brover is flying up from Florida. So we're hoping that the snow that just came through is like done and we are clear for at least until Deanne gets home and Ellen gets home. Like Ellen, as soon as she's on the plane, we're good. But then Deanne's got to drive home on Monday. So, woohoo, yes. And Karen's going to be here in person on Thursday. Judy's going to be here. Deb Norman's going to be here. Linda's up virtual. You guys I have 70 people, and so 2 more is what I'm doing, looking to fill the escape. All the details can be found on my website for the events for next week, or just reach out to me. If you really want to know, call me. I love to tell you about it. So, hi, Barb Johnson. So that's the Winter Creative Escape. Next week, that's where my focus is. I actually took a week of vacation, you guys. The last 3 escapes, I've never took a vacation really except for the day of the event if I was working that day. And so my mom kind of begged, she said, take vacation so you don't kill yourself next week. And so that's what I did. Hi Colleen, hi Linda. Hi Cheryl Thomas, hi Carla Lake. So I am on vacation next week, Monday through Friday, in preparations for the big event. And it should be good. I shouldn't be as tired going into it, which is exciting. So, oh, Deanne said it's still looking good for weather. That's awesome. So, anybody's interested in those last 2 spots, please reach out to me. For those that are attending the Winter Creative Escape, just remember swaps are due to me by Tuesday. They're due by Tuesday. Okay. Just a note too, you guys. I still have 3 paper pumpkins from December. Hi, Christina. Hi, Lynn Beasley. If anybody's interested, it was the Pun Fun one. So I still have 3. I'm thinking that people weren't so excited about that one, but just in case, I still have 3. Jeannie Parker, I think I would like to come, but would have to figure it all out. Well, Jeannie, I will hold on to one of those spots for you until you can figure it out. Okay, let's do that. I was thinking of you in the back of my head that I thought that would be a good thing for you to do. So we'll see. If you can work it out, I would absolutely love it for you to attend. That would make me so happy. And speaking of which, this class that I'm doing tonight is dedicated to Brenda Wood. Brenda is a friend of mine. She's Jeannie's sister. She's part of the Michigan group. And I hope it's okay that I say this, Jeannie, because I have been thinking about Brenda all week. Brenda met me via Facebook Lives when the pandemic started, and she introduced me to the Michigan crew, and they came out to my summer creative escape in August, and I got to meet Brenda and Jeannie and Naomi and Deanne and Nancy. And it was so awesome that they could come and stamp and be together, and they just had a wonderful time. We had a wonderful time that day. And shortly thereafter, Brenda was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer on November 5th. And she had a battle ahead of her, and it was a short battle. Unfortunately, we lost Brenda on the 2nd, this Sunday night, late in the evening, and a part of me went with her. And so I'm not going to cry, but I cried a lot about it this week that Brenda left us. So I am dedicating this class to Brenda. I am going to truly miss her with my whole heart. She told me at the Summer Creative Escape that I helped her get through the pandemic with my videos and my upbeat personality and my happiness and the sunshine I bring. And so we always would tease each other that we are each other's sunshine. And so, sorry guys, I'm crying because it's sad, but it is a part of life. It will happen to all of us at some point, and it's so sad because she was taken from us way too young. I feel like she had a lot to do on this earth, but God had other plans for her. And so, Jeannie, my heart aches for you all week. So I think Brenda, if you can make it work, I know Brenda would want you to do it. So, oh, you guys, I've never cried before on a video, so I didn't mean to get emotional, but it is an emotional thing. We lost a dear friend of ours, so okay. Oh, okay. So I'm trying to be positive like I always am, but just know, Jeannie, my heart hurts. So, but yeah, so this class is for Brenda tonight, and a lot of my classes will always have Brenda in mind as I'm doing that, because Brenda was always there since I started doing videos as well. She's always been commenting, and so I will miss her comments. So Oh my goodness. Okay. I hope she enjoys the class from up above. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna have a snottily schnoodly nose now. Sorry, and I'm gonna be wiping it, and I gotta get Kleenex. So, okay. So, so what I want to do is also give you guys. There's I'm gonna get into the frame of mind again. You guys, it just goes to show you that life is too short, and you have to always do what makes you and your loved ones that you have around you, make everybody happy and spread kindness and love versus negativity. And because you never know the last time you're going to see somebody, so you always want to leave things on a positive, happy note. So, hi, Marcia. The other couple things is now with the new catalog, you guys, I have my product shares and I have my paper shares. And so I do have, I think, 6 DSP samplers. If I said that correctly, I have a DSP sampler, and I'm going to show it. You guys, when I flip the camera down, you're going to be like, oh my God, this girl's got a hot mess in front of her. And I really do. So work with me when I flip the camera down, because I don't want you guys to be overwhelmed with what's all here right now. But really quick, I do have some product shares that are available. I'm still taking orders. Thanks, Marcia, for the belated birthday. I do have product shares, and a product share is, and it doesn't come in this bag, but this is an other one. This is from last Sale-a-Bration, a year ago. So a product share includes a sampling of all the paper. You can choose ribbon and embellishments, and I have an a la carte option so that you can pick paper, ribbon, embellishments, all of them, or a combination of them. And so that is available. If anybody's interested, you just need to go to my website right here, cardsbycrispy.com, and you would pick today, I think it was Tuesday the 4th. So go to my calendar of events. And then the other thing is the DSP sampler. Hi, Laura Wigand. This is the DSP sampler. If you are an avid crafter or a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator discount shopper and you want help with colors and the designer paper, like when you're designing a card, thank you for all the prayers and the hugs, you guys. It is so hard to lose somebody that is so close to you, and it means a lot to have all the support. Keeps us going. So the designer paper, and then it has the color swatches with it, and it's for all the spring mini catalog paper, and I also included the Sale-a-Bration papers. It is so for a cash price it's $25 if you do a porch pickup, or it's 25 plus 9, 34 if you need it mailed to you, because I do a priority mailing. So this is a great little sampling. It includes all the white pages, it includes all the swatches of the designer paper, and all of the swatches of the colors over here. Now what you have to do is glue them down. Hi, Shannon Kemp. So you just have to glue them down, and it is a great little resource to have next to you when you're having a class like tonight. I will pull this out if I don't forget. I'll pull it out and I'll show you, okay, well, we're using the Daffodil Afternoon paper, or we're also using the Hello Friendly. So the DSP samplers, product shares are still available if you want to sign up for them. I did have an RSVP date that's passed, but you guys, I still have stuff left, so so that works. As long as I got the camera flipped down, we're going to try to roll through some of this stuff really quick. You guys, for those of you who got the January monthly class from me, your kit contained one of these little guys. And I have had 3 of you come to me because they were die cut and it wasn't cut through all the way. So like Marlene's was bad, so I just have a new one for her here. I'll put it on the counter for her to pick up. And I know I've had to mail out one, and somebody else needed one in class. So in class, I can always fix it right away. But if you guys haven't looked at your January monthly cards, just let me know. My mom, when she puts stuff out, she doesn't look at it so close to, so it did miss quality control. And I try to keep my eyes open for that kind of stuff. And like for the die cutting, I'm going to talk to my gals that do the die cutting and make sure that they know. We're pretty good, but it's just sometimes we miss a couple. So that's something I wanted to tell everybody. This one too here, just some notes. Hi Pam Newhauser, hi Denise. I do have, so we talked about the product share, the sampler. Okay, the loyalty programs. So I would have to say for about 4 years I've done loyalty programs for my in-person customers, and that's easy because if you look, hi Hildenell, if you look here, I've got these little cards. They're a class loyalty card and a loyalty shopping card. So I've done this, and I rely on my in-person people to keep these cards, and when they place an order with me or if they attend a class, they hand me the card and I sign it, right? So I don't have to really keep track of anything. It's on the person. And if you're an in-person person to me and never have seen these, then I'm sorry. So there's always a lot going on, but I always have these, and it's for a year's period of time. So if you spend you have two, you get a punch for every $50, or you get a punch if you pay for a class. And when you have six $50 purchases, or you have the 10 classes, you get either a free class or a $25 gift certificate. So that's what I do for in-person. And so last night, this has been on my list for about 3 weeks to get this done. I finally had a moment to put the loyalty program together for the online community. So if you're not getting emails from me and you would like to, like let's say you didn't get the email from last night, and you want to know what it's all about, then you need to get me your email address so I can include you in my mailing list, my email list. Because the email explained that I want to reward those that are loyal to me, because I appreciate it so much. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Tammy Steckling. I know you have a choice to make when you decide to sign up on somebody's team, or when you want to make a purchase or take a class from somebody. I mean, there's only so much that you can do, and so you pick who you want to be with. And so I really appreciate your loyalty in picking me when you do. And so how I'm going to do it is, for my online community, there's no way you guys can have me sign your card every time, and I'm not going to keep track of cards. So what I did is I created an Excel spreadsheet, because I'm an Excel spreadsheet queen. I don't know, I just have a lot of Excel spreadsheets. And so what I did is I mapped out every class that I have, and I have everybody's name going down here. And at the end of the class, I just put a 1 in. And so it'll easily help me track like how many classes you've attended. And once you've taken 10 classes with me, you will get the 11th one for free. Now these are when you pay for a class, because I give people the option of paying for classes or placing an order for like maybe 4 of my classes a month. And then I do have product-based classes as well. So the product-based classes don't qualify because you, I think that they would though. I think I might have to look at that, because you're paying, okay. Okay. Regardless, it's 10 classes, you get the 11th one free. The 11th one does have a value. It has to either be like a monthly class, or like a Let's Just Stamp. And I might have written that in there. I'm trying to think about how I wrote that. But it's not like you can get a product-based class for free on your 10th class. And so it's like, the greater or lesser value type thing. Like you can get the one for free that's the least value, that type of thing. So for ordering, it's based off of a $50 order. So when you place an order to get product and it's over $50, that's when you get a mark. And once you have 6 of those, you get a $25 gift certificate from me. And so I'll reach out to you guys when you've either earned a free class or a $25 gift certificate. So like there are a few of you. I started this program for the online community. It goes January 1st to December 31st. And you have to have the card complete by the end of the year in order for it to count. So like uncompleted cards don't count. So I wanted just to share that. So in case you're in person though, make sure you reach out to me so that we can get you cards. And for the online guys, I have you in my sheet, and as you sign up, so like let's say you want to buy 10 classes all off the bat, and then I'll get you the 11th one free, or we can do it piecemeal as you pay for them. I'll just keep track of it. So I hope that makes sense and it's not too confusing. So I just really appreciate you guys and your support with me and my business. And the newsletter, it snuck up on me. I was intentionally waiting to publish the newsletter until tomorrow so that I could publish who all the winners are for all the different things we're going to be doing drawings for tonight. Hi, Tina. And so, hi, Diane Bogenhagen. So the newsletter, you guys can watch it tomorrow. That's going to be my plan. I'll have it done tonight and hopefully just publish it for a scheduled time at some point tomorrow. So, okay, so that's the newsletter. We're going to do roll call. Oh, classes. Okay, so for classes, you guys, I'm almost done. I promise. So for classes coming up, I have mailed out the Sale-a-Bration card class that we're doing tonight. I do have extra kits for tonight's class, you guys. In case you are watching and you like what the cards are, this class tonight is free with a purchase, a minimum purchase, and you might as well do at least $50 because you get your name on the board and you get a Sale-a-Bration item, or it is fee-based. Hi, Amanda. And so tonight's class, I have 10 left. I made 10 extra kits. I also am going to flip the camera down and I'm just going to scroll really quick through what's coming up the rest of the month, okay? So that you guys can see I have availability for all my classes for January yet. So, oh, I get told that a lot, that I am good at organizing and keeping things straight. Sandy, you didn't receive the email. Okay, so Sandy, send me an email, please. Because when you guys, I will have to be honest with you, email is always the best thing for me because when I am in my computer is when I'm checking email a lot and can reply to things better, attach attachments. So Sandy, if you could send me an email, I can reply to it and then make sure I get you the email. And if anybody else didn't get the email from last night with my loyalty programs, make sure to let me know so I can check why you're not getting emails. Hi Mo, a little late, better late than never. Woohoo. The kits for tonight, so for mailing, if you're doing porch pickup, the kits for tonight were $18. Mailing is an extra $5, so $23. Or it was free with a $45 order with mailing, and so you might as well do the $50 to get a Sale-a-Bration item. So Terry, you didn't get the email either. So Terry, please send me an email. I want to check why you guys, first of all, I got to go to the root source and I'm going to find out why you aren't getting emails. It might be that you have to re-sign up for my newsletter. It's the oddest thing, but my personal email address, sometimes I have to re-sign up for it too, and I have no idea why that happens. But send me an email. That would be good. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera down one more time here, you guys. And I've got the Sweet Talk Valentine's Day card class coming up. Yeah, Deb said check the junk mail just to make sure. Before you email me, check your junk mail or your spam folder. I love this tic-tac-toe card. So Chris and I made these cards together. It was so much fun. So we are so over Valentine's Day cards at this point in our life, but you guys aren't. And so we have some fabulous cards here that we made together. It was awesome. So that's the Sweet Talk class that's coming up the end of the month. Diane Bokenhagen and I made these cards for Let's Just Stamp. This is, I think, for me, Sunday the 23rd at, it's a Facebook Live. I think it's in the afternoon around 2 Central. So these are those cards. And so that's Let's Just Stamp. You guys, for the Winter Creative Escape, there's 8 cards we're going to be making next week. And so these are for the people that signed up for the Winter Creative Escape. I did a slim line for you guys. And then the Ladybug. Oh, and Chris and I made these. Oh my gosh, we had some fun stamping time together. So these are what we're making. Plus this little guy. I think that they're sitting on the table over there. And there's one more too. And then ink, paper, scissors there's 4 of them. And I think that one's right here. Okay, hang tight. I'm gonna go get the other one really quick. This last one is my absolute favorite. Oh, I loved it. It's just using that paper lattice. So ink, paper, scissors, you guys, is a product-based class. To have it mailed to you is $36. It includes a goodie bag of designer paper package, like a quarter pack. You get the ribbon and a pack of embellishments, the full amount. So that's coming up. The end, it's actually February 3rd. It's the first Thursday because I'm going to Florida the end of January. And then this was the other one. This is coming up on January 20th, you guys. I have so many cards to make this month with you. It is crazy what is on the docket for us. So this is the January monthly card making class. If you're not into Valentine's Day, maybe stay away from this, but you could turn this into like an anniversary or a wedding card. This could be turned into a kid's birthday card. That could be made into just a thinking of you card too. So, oh, Terry, yours went into spam. Awesome, so I'm glad you got it. Hi, Becky. You're saying that I'm breaking up, but I am watching right along, so it might be the internet on your end. Yes, and then remember for the VIP group, you guys, this is the half-off bundle that can be won this month. So, okay, so that's what's coming up in January. And, all right, so Sale-a-Bration and mini catalog, you guys, these are live now, so I can actually show you insides of them. We're going to do drawings in a little bit, okay? So that, we'll save that for a second. For those of you, you guys are going to have to tell me if you want me to show swap cards, if I should do them now or at the end. I know we've been going a while. I knew this was going to take a little bit longer because I had so much to talk about, but I do have all of these swap cards and they feature Sale-a-Bration products. So I need you guys to tell me now or later because I can do them now and be in like if I say later, I might forget to do them. So I don't know what you want me to do, if you want me to get to the stamping or if you want me to show swap cards. But I'm freezing too, no pun intended, ha ha ha. So I am not, I'm gonna flip down, you guys. So I'm watching right along with you, and I haven't frozen, quote unquote, good yet. I haven't frozen yet. So you guys, this is Kelly's Technique Thursday from today. So in case you missed it, oh, now please. Okay, swap cards now. So I'll keep going then. We'll get to the, blades spinning at the same time. I know, Luann, right? Now. Okay, I'm getting people to say now. So I'm going to keep going with this. So Kelly's Technique Thursday. You guys can catch the replay. It's on the Cards by Christine Facebook page. She did a great job with that. The other thing too here, you guys, let me show you some of this that I got. I got swap cards, plus I got Happy Mail. So we'll do all of it. Hi, Mary Drummond. Hi, Ann Bellinger. Okay, so you guys, if you watched me on Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, I shared some birthday cards at Tip Tuesday. What I didn't have handy with me was Penny Powell's birthday gift to me, and it was in my house because I used it this weekend. And okay. Hi, Jay Shante from the cold Northwoods. So Penny Powell made me this beautiful birthday gift, and she knows I love purple, and it's handmade, and it is just gorgeous. I got to wear it this weekend for my birthday, and it's even got a little bee trinket on the end. Penny, I absolutely love it. I'm not going to put it on now, though, because my arm it'll be dangling on my arm as I go. You guys notice I don't generally always wear jewelry. All right, so Penny, this is gorgeous. I love the little gold pizza box as well. This was a birthday card, you guys, from Bonnie Lesbrance and Lisa Piper. Oh, they love the Amsterdam the windmills. And she pulled in the purple for me because she knows I love my purple. And Penny, it is beautiful. The bracelet is beautiful. You don't even have to second guess it. It's gorgeous. So this one's from Bonnie and Lisa using the new tulip. There's a new tulip super sweet. Guys, this one's from Judy Immel. Oh, there it's freezing. Hang on. So let's go here real quick. I see that I froze. Hang on, you guys. It'll come back in a second. I am not quite sure. We are going to figure it out. I know some of you guys said that it was freezing on your end. So I flipped the camera up to me, and I'm going to switch over. Hang tight. So we're going to take it off. I've learned that this is what you do when this happens, is you like disconnect the camera and then you bring the camera back, and hopefully it pulls it in. So we'll see here. It's still here. Technology doesn't always like to cooperate with us, right? So I know that as long as I have you guys on my face, that you can at least see me. And we're going to see if I can pull in the camera. Jennifer, you're calling. I can't answer right now. Okay, so we're going to pull in the phone again. I'm just happy that this happens to me and not Kelly, because I know what to do when this happens to me. So we're going to do this, and I think it flips down now. Okay, so I'm back in business, and we should be good. I worked my way through that one, I hope. So this one is from Judy. I'm doing my hand check. If my hands move fast, then we're good. So this is from Judy Immel. You guys, I can't show this card to Tyler because he will hold me to it. It says no working during drinking hours, and have a wild birthday. And she's got a little awesome bottle cap up here with some of that silver foil. So Judy, I'll share it with Tyler, but he's going to hold me. He's going to show this to me when I try to go inside and start stamping, like doing stamping stuff. Laura. So swaps are we send you cards and you send us one back. Yeah. So real quick, Laura's asking a question about swapping, which it always pertains to anybody. Sometimes people don't know what swapping is. I host a couple different swaps. One of them is a customer swap. So every swap has different guidelines that you need to follow. And the customer swap that I have, it allows you to use Stampin' Up! Product and non-Stampin' Up! Product. And what you have to do is sign up by a certain time, and then you have your cards sent to me, all the same card, and then I swap them out and I send them back to you. And so the customer swap is on a monthly basis, and I host other swaps like with demonstrators when I do like the Winter Creative Escape and I also do another group with the Dazzling Demonstrators that I host. So yes, but that is generally what a swap is. So did they use to sell the bronze blender by itself? Yes. You thought they had, but you can't find ivory. Yes, Angela. Back about 2 years ago is when they switched it. They used to sell individual blends by themselves, and then they went away with it and just are selling the pair. So that's probably why you have a bronze and no ivory. That is very true. Okay, so I hope that answered a little bit about swapping questions. I can always add anybody to my customer swap group. You could read the regulations or rules or guidelines and decide if it's something you want to do or not. So, all right. So back to Judy's card. That was awesome, Judy. This one is from Susan Rish. Sent me the little pumpkin, or that's Arla says, the little penguin with the fresh freesia. I put a little bow on her headsy there. Love it. And that's some of the Penguin Place designer paper. And then Arliss, she said that this is the first try at this card, and she was happy with it. And I'm so happy with it too. I've never tried a card like this. It is where you cut slivers of paper and then you leave that little gap in the background to like differentiate, and they're all cut. And honestly, I'm not sure, Arliss, you'll have to tell us if this was really hard or not, because this intimidates me, like how you get them that way. I'm sure you just start on one end and you just cut diagonally and make sure you have to keep them all in order is my guess. But it's so pretty using the expressions in ink paper here. Judy said, how many cards would a swap person need to make? And are they the same or different cards? Judy, the swap is always dependent upon how many people sign up. So my customer swap ranges. In January, we only had 7 sign up, but in December, we had 10. Months ago, back in the fall, we had some that were 15 during that month. So it just depends on how many people sign up. Generally, my customer swap has never been over 16. But when I do other swaps, like Jay just replied, that I saw Jay reply. So when I do swaps with Jay, sometimes there's 20 cards. Not generally more than 22, 24. It just gets to be a lot that way. So it's just, and you make the same card. You could change the color theme, but generally the layout and the products are the same. But like, let's say you only get so much designer paper, then you can swap out designer paper and change the color palette a little bit, but the same general card. So Karen Wetsign, you said you ? And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that was for me or not. So Mo says, I did that cutting effect on a photo in a scrapbook many years ago. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it looks awesome. So, all right, I'm not done with, I have one more here. I'm gonna show you this. Bonnie also made this for me for my birthday. She knows I love Herbie Love Bugs, and she had some extra Kit Kats left over, and she knows I love Kit Kats. So I got that from Bonnie. It was a super cool little treat. You're very welcome, Judy. All right, so you guys wanted to see some swap cards. So these little guys, I have these here because for those 36 people that already registered for class and got their kits and are either coming Saturday or tonight or last night, and these are for the people for Saturday. These were a little gift to me, gift from me to you guys. I waited. I don't like to mail chocolate in the summertime, right? Because it gets melted and you guys got a hot mess of like chocolate goo. But I'm very hopeful that those that got these in the mail from me, they weren't all squished to the smithereens. I generally really meant for the Kinder to be small, and apparently the ones I ordered are Big Daddy size. And so when these got made, we just cut the flaps off. My Aunt Karen made all these for me. I'm very thankful that she helped me with that. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have squeezed that in, but I used a combination of some of the Sale-a-Bration papers and some of the Simply Elegant. So everybody got one, and it may be, they all were different though. What we did is cut that off and you guys got a Bueno bar. They are awesome. They're hazelnut filling. So that was my little gift to everybody. The 36 of them it was the first 36 that signed up got one of those, and all 36 are gone. Your bar was just fine, Judy says. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Love yours too, Ellen. Laura said hers was good too. Awesome. All right, so swap cards you guys want to see. All right, so this is the swap. I participated in a swap with my upline. Yep, and it was like hard to say that. The swap had to use, so the guidelines for the swap, everything's always got to be current, but it was featuring the Friendly Hello stamp set and paper, okay? So that's what had to be featured on all of the cards, and this is what we came up with. So if people don't put Post-it notes on their cards, I don't always save them, so I can't give credit where credit is due. If people put Post-it notes on the back, it's really easy to flip it over and tell you. But if people put slips of paper, I take and throw away the envelope, the envelopes, they get tossed around, and I gotta take, you guys just understand. It's like, so I didn't make these, you guys. Just know that these are not mine. They're inspired by somebody else, but I saw this one, and I absolutely love what she did with the ribbon here. It is the petal pink ruffled ribbon, and what she did is put tear and tape down, and she went back and forth with it, and then it stuck to the tape, I think. So super cool. And so she's got some of these loose flowers on here, and then hand cut out the Hello Friend. So the stamp set is this one right here that was used. And then the designer paper, you guys, I might as well use this, right? So here's the friendly hello. So these were the different sheets of paper that you get. Hi, Carmen Melendez. I don't know if you were there earlier. You might have been. So hi again if I said hi already. So pretty. This layout, you guys, is so awesome. Okay. This one I got, Rose Grunwald. She's my neighbor. She's in Holstein, a fellow demonstrator on Kelly Etchison's team. So she made this little guy. She used some of that pet twine here. Some of the champagne rhinestones got pulled in, are super pretty. All right. This one was the Purplicious card. I love the designer paper on the side. That is a great use for being strategic about designer paper, is a 2x something up here, and then you just put it on one side. Iridescent rhinestones, you guys, are amazing. So I can't give credit for this one. I lost the slip. There's a slip of paper on the floor, but I don't know whose it goes to. This one, you guys. All right, this person right here has their business card in here. Jean Chioli. Are you ready for it? So Bobby McPherson, if you're watching, you did my birthday card just like this. And it pulls out right here. Watch this, you guys. And boom. And then you can put a gift card. Look what she did here. She put a little gift card that's got all this Stampin' Up stuff on it. Stampin' Up papers and ribbon. And so that goes right in here. So I told Bobby that I was definitely casing this card for the next fun folds that I have. I'm figuring it out. We're going to make it happen. So yeah. And then that goes right back in there. So Jean did an amazing job on that one. Love it. Cool card. All right, this one, I saved it here. Dawn Burgett made this one right here. Stamped a little bit of on the background, some banners coming down, a little pool party sheer bow. Very pretty. Your card stayed in there. Sometimes they don't always do that. All right, Denise Johnson made this one. I definitely cased this card, you guys. So I got this, so that's why I swapped. So I got this card from, oh my gosh, you guys, Denise, and I liked it, but I have to change things, right? So I get this card for inspiration, and then this is the card that I made. And this card is gonna be used for the Sale-a-Bration Hoorah Rah card class. But I changed the orientation of the pattern of the paper. I added the bird off to the side here instead, put a little sentiment strip. So this is the card that I actually had inspiration from to make my card. So you can kind of follow the pattern of how I got there, but slightly different. So that's why I swap, you guys, in case you're wondering. And to give you guys lots of samples to look at. All right, this one was Deb Snyder. A little gatefold here, a little gatefold action. So that goes like that. The scallop contour dies are so cool. It's Granny Apple with navy for that color combination. Oh, there's a card in here. So this one is a Greta Wilcher, was part of the swap. And the pool party, she used the masks on here. There are some new masks in the mini catalog, and so that's where that came from. And then the embossing folders in the back here, just a little bit of that, it's like greenery or meadow or something. This one, Kathy Miller. I love it. So this is one where you can cheat on the DSP as well. You put like a little skinny strip here and a different skinny strip here, and then you haven't used a whole chunk. It allows you to get more paper used. Some of the open weave ribbon in fresh freesia, and then the little color palette is awesome. All right, this one is Jody Peterson from, I believe she's in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a little while. Yep, Indiana. So, okay, this one is awesome. For the technique and this would be a good one for Kelly to do. She used, and it's hard to see it, but if I get the lighting just right, she used a stylus, and she put 3 lines going here, 3 lines going here, 3 here, and 3 here. And so she created a frame around this. So that's what I love. So I will take that technique and then make it into a different card with different products. But I love the inspiration that I got from that. And that's something super simple to do. All right. This one, No Name, is got a little bit of the ornate style embossing folder, iridescent pearls, or not, iridescent rhinestones here, some of that peacock ribbon. So a little designer paper down at the bottom. I don't have a name on this one. This one's Kelly Etchison's, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I got the envelope, and I remember it being purple, and I remember she was in with her besties, and she showed a picture of her putting pieces together. So I think that one might be hers. This is that stitched greenery background, so it's that, it doesn't die cut through, but it imprints it. That's that punch, and she split it in half and put some on the top and some on the bottom, and a little strip of designer paper on the back. Hi, Diane Smith. Oh, here's another gatefold. That was kind of like, yeah, there was another one right there. See, that's the gatefold, kind of. And this one's off to the side, a little less on this side though. And so you open it up, and we've got a sentiment, and that's the bird, the word, with some pool party in black. This one is Candy Michael. So she's got a little strip of designer paper on the inside. I mean, that's what you do with that designer paper. When you get to the end and you have a little strip, just put it on the inside. Yep. And so this one's cool. It uses a little strip of designer paper too. So that's the thing about using designer paper in swaps. Like where this is like a whole panel in the front, you only get 6 of those out of a 12 by 12. Where this one, you'd get a lot more. And then we have a granny apple with fresh freesia. It is Mindy Gray made this one. And there is this is the open weave fresh freesia ribbon, and I think what she did is she started it to cut it, and then she ripped it in half because there's all these little fray lines, like it's cut in half, and then she just kind of weaved it back and forth. So these little rhinestones are the blue ones, I think, that are in the annual catalog. So I love the technique of how she altered the ribbon and didn't do something traditional with it. So very cool. So you get ideas from swapping, you guys. That's why we swap. So, all right. So that was the Hello Friendly, or Friendly Hello. I will say that backwards all the time. Here is another stamp set from the Sale-a-Bration. It's called Island Vibes. And another one here is called Driving By. So I had these sitting here just to show you. And I have one more thing here, you guys. I got to show you. I got another birthday present. I think this is the last thing, and then we'll get going on our card. So, one more card. This was from Christina Hazer. So, you make my heart smile. And you guys, I got some bee things. I had to show you. I already peeked in here. But, and purple, right? So, but there's a little sweet honey bee candle that she got for me. And a little magnet, and it says, if you can't see the sunshine, be the sunshine. Isn't that awesome? I love it. And that's the little chocolates, you guys. So I'm going to put that on my refrigerator here. So thank you, Christina. I appreciate your gift too. Okay. Woo! So the first card class of the year is finally kicking off, you guys. We had so much housekeeping to go through. Are you ready for some stamping? Oh, man. Okay. So we're going to do a little roll call. I have new sheets printed for the new year. So what I have to not forget to do later, so I'm telling you guys to help me remember, is we're going to do the drawings for all the different monthly contests and the bingo, and then the ink, paper, scissors. So that's what I have for afterwards. But I generally try to remember that. So, okay. So roll call. Sorry, my nose is still itchy from before from crying. So, all right. Carmen Melendez, Angela Knutson, Deanna Stell, Debbie Schultz, Penny Powell, Ellen Brover, Deb Norman, Mo Stites, Barb Barco, Ann Bellinger, Kathy King, Barb Moynan, Laura Sullivan, Sandy Wicklander, Lynn Beasley, Kathy Groves, Leslie McMinn, Rachel Horsch, Judy Bobo, Stacy Burns, Angela Orvis, Christina Hazer, and Dawn Reeder. So we had 23 for tonight. I have 4 for Saturday, and we had 11 for last night. So we had a great class. And just a reminder, I have 10 sets left because I prepped 48 kits, and Oh, I PEP 46. It must be. So, I don't know. Math is hard right now. So I know I have 10 left. I looked over at the counter. I have 10 left. So I do know that. Okay. So, and lots of you guys are saying you're here. That's awesome. Are you guys ready to do some stamping? Hopefully the camera and the technology does good for us. All right. These cards were fun. Oh, I was fun picking out. Everybody loves the Otter. Oh, so the Otter is so cool. And you guys, when you see him, you open him up and he's actually a little pop-up card, right? So he's cool. I think I love daffodils a lot. Hi, Susie Fick. I love daffodils a lot. So this one spoke to me a lot. Like that one was one of my favorites. I love sunshine and rainbows too, you guys. So we have a pretty bright, cheery card here. And then the last one was the catching butterflies with the girl. And all my insides are still in the envelopes. And so I made another little fun fold. I love this layout for a fun fold. It's just something different, but it doesn't use much more paper, if at all, any more paper than normal. So I think I'm going to pick an order here. We're going to do them like this. Okay, so we're going to do rainbows first, you guys. So there is a little disclaimer here. I don't know if you guys have started making your cards already, but we noticed in class last night when I cut the DSP for this piece, it was a hair long. Okay, so I want you guys to see that for those that are doing the class with me so you know what to do. You're going to have to maybe get your trimmers out. Some people just were like, nope, I'm fine. It works for me. I'll live with it. And some were like, oh, let's get the trimmer out and let's trim them. So the sunshine and rainbows here. So the paper is here, one of the free items. It's a 6x6 pack of 48 sheets. That's the free item. The stamp set that I used, though, is from the new mini catalog. And that one looks like this. So it's called Rainbows and Happiness. And there is a set of dies that goes with it. So for the class, the only thing that I really used from it that were the dies were this little scallop and then the clouds here, the small ones. There's actually 4 little clouds that come with the die set. So that's where this one comes from. Color scheme here. Oh yeah, and this one, you guys, if you don't even have the You Make Me Happy, so You Make Me Happy does come from here, but there is a Sale-a-Bration set. No, where did I put them? There is a Sale-a-Bration set called Special Moments. And there's a big congratulations in here. And so if you have a new baby on the way or something like with a kid with congratulations, this is a cute, like upbeat, cheery card. And you could put big congratulations that fits in there. Also on this one, hang in there fits in there nicely too. So for those that might not have the sunshine, this rainbow of happiness stamp set, you could definitely make it without that for assembling and putting this card together. So the Melon Mambo is your 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And my tip Tuesday was making sure that your sides align there. So you see how I always hold the corners down. Make sure it's a horizontal card here. In your kit, you guys, you do have loose rhinestones. You're going to have like a big and 2 smaller ones, or like a small, medium, large, but you'll have 1 bigger one, 2 smaller ones. They're loose in your kit, so don't let them run away on you. There's also different clouds. So the cloud paper comes in this rainbow paper, and there's maybe 8 different patterns. They're all like, this one has hearts on it, and then this one has little arrow carrot things. Some had squiggly lines, so they're all different. So your cloud might not look exactly like this, but I did use the cloud punch, and I punched it out for you. And then this is the new Mother of the Pearl paper, you guys. It is awesome. It is so shimmery, glistening, it's like ooh and ah. It's so pretty. So you have 1 cloud like that, and then the dies have 4 different clouds. And so you will have 2 smaller clouds in your kit that we can put on the card somewhere. You'll have your Bumblebee gingham ribbon, which is about 6 inches. This is die cut from, so Anna, big thanks to her for helping with all the die cutting, and to Pat for helping with the embossing and some die cutting. So they did a great job helping me with this. It was so crazy. It was like at the Christmas time, I had to get them stuff the week before Christmas for this stuff. So hi, Barb Calvin. So the kits are for in-person pickup, $18. And then the cost for mailing is $5. So if you're not local to me and need it mailed, it's $23. So, and that's a cash price. So like Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, friends and family. You can go on my website and pay for it as well. And it just charges $1 for the convenience fee. So the clouds are a punch. It's not in the rainbow set. So Stacy, you're asking about the clouds. And I don't, oh, you know what? I do have the punch. Hang on, I'm gonna go get the punch for you guys so you can see it. So the punch is actually in here. So, oh, you can see me. Hi, guys. Okay, so there's the punch. And if the easiest way to find it from the page is go to the back and there's an index. So page 19 is where the cloud punch is. And here it is. So cloud punch is on page 19. It's on the opposite page as the rainbow. And so it goes really good with that set of products. So I did punch out both of your clouds for you guys. And then this came from the die set. There's these two are paper from the rainbow set and some Bermuda Bay here and a little strip of like 1/2 inch there. Now, the thing is that what people were identifying is in class last night is that this piece of paper might be a hair longer in your kit. If it is, what you do is just take your trimmers and trim it down. Because what's going to happen is when you put it on here, if it's too long, you're going to see less white here. And if you want it just a hair shorter, just trim off like a 1/16 of an inch or a good 1/16. Okay, so that's the trick on that one that we learned last night. So your two pieces of white are the same size. They're both 4 by 5 1/4. So one's for the outside and one's for the inside. The one for the outside, nothing needs to happen to it except for assembling with it. Hi, Cheryl Taylor. The inside, we're gonna have to do a little stamping, but because there's very little stamping on this card, it's just an inside and then a sentiment. Let's get glue happy and put the card together so that we can get that part, get the pieces all put together. So how's it gonna work? So you've got this piece of Bermuda that is about 5 1/4 by maybe 2 1/8, something like that. It's gonna just get glued right here to the top portion of this white here. Okay, this is my Brenda card. It's the sunshine and rainbows because she's my sunshine. Hi, Andy Acquisto. All right, so then this piece is also gonna go right there. So I could have given you guys a full piece of Bermuda, but it's like, well, why? It gets covered up. And the white is a nice border around it so the ribbon can adhere behind it. So don't worry about this at all because this is ultimately going to get covered up here, right? So, okay, so now this one's gonna go on here. Hi, Jamie. This one's gonna go on the bottom portion like this. Now, the main thing that you want is your white edge to be consistent as possible, right? So that's where if you guys lay your pieces down and kind of like measure them before you get glue on them, it's so much easier. If you notice things like this increases and then it goes back out, you don't have to worry about that because, oh, Linda's short order ship, that's awesome. This seam, this pink is gonna cover up the seam and it's gonna really kind of hide any inconsistencies. Okay, so this right here, what I would recommend before we get this glued down is to grab your Stella pen. Stella needs to get off of her break. She's been on Christmas break this whole time. Maybe Kelly used her during her Technique Thursday. I haven't had a chance to watch it, you guys, but Stella pen is a glitter pen and it actually is controlled glitter, which is good, and it just puts a little glistening like shine to it. So, and it dries really fast. And so when you guys get this, I don't even worry about putting glue down here at all. Why? Don't even bother. All you need to do is focus on this strip right here and just put a little glue there. So this originally started at 3/4 inch wide, okay? And then the die got put all the way near the bottom and it left this. If you notice yours is slightly crooked or like off a hair, it's okay. Kelly used her today, awesome. What your main thing is when you glue this down is you want your, I'm gonna call them humps, your scallops, to be about the same distance. Like don't glue it crooked if you can avoid it. And that's gonna go right over the top where the seam is, like this. And if it's hanging over an edge, it's gonna be okay. So the main thing is to make sure like this bottom part looks straight, because if you have it crooked like up there, it's noticeable. So don't worry about the top edge of the pink. Just worry about the bottom being straight here, okay? So I've got this side flush over here, and then I'm hanging over a little on this side. So that's where I'm gonna grab my scissors and I can trim that off so that it's not hanging over. And now if you do have a slight difference at the top, like I can tell this is a hair taller on this side than it is over here, that's where the ribbon's gonna come in, you guys. And the ribbon's gonna hide that inconsistency, because your ribbon now can be straight and it can be, it can hide it. So as long as you got the bottom good, then you can make the top work. So how we're gonna do the ribbon is the tear and tape though. And we're gonna do our little sandwich, our tear and tape sandwich. And I put down about 1 inch. And then what I do is from the front, I now hold it with 2 hands and I get my ribbon so it's exactly where I want it. And once I'm holding it, I take another finger here and I just flip that tail into the tape. All right, and I'm gonna do that on both sides. So it allows me to make sure my ribbon's straight. It's hard if you flip it over and then try to take, put your tails, like you wanna see what you're doing. Okay, so now that you've got your tails tucked, now we can secure them a little bit more with some additional tear and tape. You can pick that off and you can put a little adhesive around the rest of it. You don't need to put adhesive where the tear and tape is because it's already got glue there. Hi, Marcia from freezing cold Texas. Oh, wow, that surprises me. But it is winter time, so it's cold, a lot colder in a lot more places than normal. All right, so that goes right there. So the next thing we'll do is our sentiment. I think we'll build off of that. You guys have a strip. It's a 1/2 inch by like maybe 3. Put any skinny sentiment in there. We will do You Make Me Happy. And I'm going to use the Bermuda. If you'd rather use Melon Mambo for a color of ink, that works perfectly good. Hi, Dee. How are you, girlfriend? All right, so we're going to grab out the piercing mat for this because these are photopolymer stamps. And we're going to inky dinky do. Practice. Make sure it stamps good. And this stamp is just, like, you can't have it much bigger. Oh, you guys, that's so hard to see. So here's my trick. Put a different color behind the white paper so that you can see the edging of the white. Otherwise, it's like guessing. It's like shooting in the dark. Okay, so the inside then has sending you a rainbow of happiness. And then I've got some little heartsies. Okay. The bright colors are so pretty, aren't they? I love them. They're so cheerful. So cheerful. So sending you a rainbow of happiness is going to go right in the middle. Okay, and then we're done with the Bermuda. And we're going to grab the Melon Mambo because in this stamp set, there are some little accessories, I would call them. There's little dots, there's little hearts, there's little dotted lines, slotted lines, and then raindrops keep falling on my head. That doesn't mean that something, right? I have no clue, but there's hearts. And so I'm just gonna put a few little hearts right in the corner. Now, if you guys wanna go crazy with the hearts, you could put a whole line of them. You could decorate hearts all over the place, but I like things a little simple, so I'm just putting a little guy right in the corner there. Okay, so I think that's it for stamping. We got there's not much here, you guys. So when you get this card kit from me, you don't need to improvise very much at all. So we can glue our inside in, and then we will get to the sentiment strip. So I hope you guys, when you're putting your kits together, I know that I always would rather have designer paper be longer, or not even just designer paper, any kind of cardstock, longer when you're matting it, so that you can always trim off that extra. But that didn't work so well with this one because you lose the white. Oh, do you need to place an order? Yes, it is a good time to order now because of Sale-a-Bration. So now we're going to use some dimensionals, and we're going to put them on the back. Look at this, you guys. A fresh sheet of dimensionals. Feels good to start a new one. Feels good. Oh, I got to trim my corners or my edges here. So I like to do the banner thing here. Not the banner, but like the diagonal. So we're going to do that and that one. So just cutting them at a slant is a great way to give it a different look. Okay, now we'll finish putting on some dimensionals. So I'm trying to put them more near the top so that it catches the designer paper below, because there is ribbon there, and there's also that rainbowy melon mambo scallop thing. So now when I put this on, the dimensionals will stick more to the paper. And so I'm going to put that something like this. So I am covering up a little of the ribbon. Okay. And then this cloud is popped up with, I'm going to use big dimensionals. I go in spurts. I always use big dimensionals. Oh, look at that, you guys. I put a new sheet in there too. I would do big dimensionals, and then I went to small dimensionals, and now I'm back on the big dimensional kick. So the little cloud here can go like that. And then if you want to see the white one on top, you could always put this guy behind too, right? So that works as well. Or if you want to see more of the blue one, you could put more of the blue one up. It's completely up to you. So I actually like the thought of putting him back there, and I'm going to put him flat. So then I can show you the difference. So we're going to just pull this up slightly and sneak him in there. And then these little guys, the two, they're just glued with a little bit of liquid glue. You could use a glue dot too if you wanted, but just a little bit here and there and everywhere. Now grab that one. So everybody's is going to be slightly different depending on the background. And so on my card over here, I found this rainbow here, and I put the cloud underneath the end of it, and I did that there. Now on mine here, I have a rainbow up here, so I'm going to try to put that cloud underneath up there. And then we're going to find a different spot for this guy. And I'm just going to go in front of the sun, actually, because the cloud in front of the sun looks kind of nice, like that. So your placement of your clouds is going to be completely at your discretion. And you see now how I've got two like that over there, where here I put them that way, and then the blue is behind, and here it's on top. So you guys do what you like the best. But when it comes to these rhinestone cowboys, oh my goodness. If you ask me what my favorite embellishment is in the new mini catalog, I would have to say these guys. They look like cotton candy gems to me. They're so yummy looking. Like, they look like cotton candy. I'm going to say that, I think. So we got to find some spots to put them. I was thinking about putting one there, but I think I'll go back here. And the big ones are kind of tall. I will admit that. They are a little bumpy. And then I've got one more somewhere yonder up here. Let's see, where do I want to put it? You might find a spot for your third one. I knew that I wanted those two here, but then I had a hard time. This, fortunately, there's a sun up in the corner, so I could put it right in the middle of the sun. On this one, I don't have a sun, but I'm still going to put it up there, just to bling it up there. So, so Denise loves the design. Yeah, it's a great way to use two different designer papers. So if you are limited on your designer, you could pick two different pieces, and as long as they complement each other, do one on the bottom and one on the top. Less busy, more busy. And then the clouds up there, a little something that breaks up the seam, and then some bling. So very cool. Wouldn't you be happy to get this card in the mail? I would. So one of you guys will be. Okay, so those are the iridescent rhinestones, which are new as well. You can get your hands on them now. All right, so let's get this guy back in business here in orderly conduct. Okay, one down, you guys. 3 to go. Okay, we'll set him over here, and we are going to do the butterfly girl next. That's why I kept calling her the butterfly girl. Okay, so this one is from a set that's called Chasing Butterflies. Oh, I'm so happy you guys like it. The clouds was a punch, correct? Yes, Laura, that is perfectly correct. It is a punch, and if I can get the light on it just right, you might be able to, there it is. You can kind of see it. I think we said it's on page 19 of the new mini catalog. Okay. The mother of pearl paper is gorgeous. I agree with you, Brenda. That is my favorite new specialty paper, is that mother of pearl. It's so silky and like smooth when you feel it. Sorry, I was pretending to touch it. All right, so here we got our girl butterfly. So this is from Catching Butterflies. I pulled in this girl and then the butterfly. There's two different sentiments in this set. So one is celebrate every beautiful thing and collecting sweet thoughts of you. So, you guys, I had to tell the people this in my class. I made my girl to look like me. So you guys can make your girl look however you want. So I gave people the option in class if they wanted like a bronze skin tone marker or ivory. You could do a blonde or brunette. I said, hey, if you want to give her purple hair, you could give her purple hair too. It's whatever you want. And you guys, you might not even have this stamp set. So if you don't have this stamp set at home, all you need to do is find something that will look awesome right here. So I can't wait for when I get my class card challenge cards from you guys to see what you guys ended up putting there if you don't have her. So, all right, let's get rid of these things. And we're gonna go, so this card only uses one ink color. It's actually just Night of Navy. And the complementary color to it is So Saffron. So it reminds me of the FFA, you guys. I was in the FFA when I was in high school. I was a Future Farmer of America. And I know it doesn't stand for that anymore, but FFA's colors are the navy and the yellow. So I think of FFA whenever I see these colors together. All right, but if you see here, I also pulled in here, this is the rainbow paper again. So as I was designing this card, I had that rainbow paper up there. And so these two little snippets come from the rainbow DSP. And I was very conservative with it because that's 6x6 paper. So there was no way I was cutting a whole big strip for this part that gets covered. So you guys, that's why I did this and I did this for that. So these are in your envelope, I promise. I made my mom triple check things, you guys. But I will tell you, I told her our New Year's resolution is to triple check and make sure we're not missing things. But that happens. I'm like, my mom's like, it was inevitable. We kitted up 800 cards that week. And so if you guys are ever missing anything, you just got to reach out. If you can't make something else work and you want it exact, I can make it happen. So we've got here a fun fold, right? So this opens this way and this goes that way. And our base is the navy. In the navy. So this is at 5.5, and then we've got about 2 3/4 here. So I think that the length of this is actually 8 3/8 is how I did it. So grab your bone folder and throw it around like you just don't care. Burnish your edge. Okay, now that's going to be like this, okay? And you have a piece of So Saffron that is a traditional matte 4x5 1/4. It is embossed. I hate the little shiny. I'm going to go like that. Okay, that's embossed with the painted texture embossing folder. So we can go ahead and glue, you guys. So I'll try to not do anything that isn't meant to be glued. But as I'm explaining, I'm going to get this guy in here. So that just gets centered there. Then you have this front flap. So in here, you also have another piece of So Saffron. And now this is another Sale-a-Bration item. It's the marvelous paper. So you've got, it looks like bed sheets to me, you guys. Oh, you know where my mind goes, I guess. But they look silky, satiny, like bed sheets. And that paper, you guys, it comes in so many pretty colors. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's find it so I can show you. Marvelous. There it is. Okay, so all of these colors. They look like bed sheets, like satin bed sheets. This looks like marble to me. So you have the blue, the smoky slate, the saffron, blushing bride, pool party, and Highland Heather. This was crazy how many colors coordinate to fit these little guys. Kelly did a little trickery to get this. They are a tight fit, but they all fit. And so you can see the opposite. The one is the marble and one is the bed sheets, okay? Or it's like molten, like liquid metal in a big pot, kind of metally. So you guys can pick if you want this side up or if you want that side. And so you can see on here, the marble is also 6x6, and you're, depending on what piece you got, you're gonna have more marbling or less marbling. So like that one has a little bit less here and a little more over there. So let's get this glued down onto our saffron piece, and then we will get that onto the front flap. And then flip it over. Look at me doing things in a reverse order, not doing stamping first. In class, we like to get our stamping done first so that we can keep the stamps moving around the room. So there's that. So that's going that way. Now, you guys, there's also this little strip here that has a score line in it. Now, I purposely cut it at 2 1/8 so that you could get 1, 2, 3, 4 of them out of, you know, an 8 1/2, because 8 1/2 divided by 4 is 2 1/8. So that's why it's 2 1/8. And I thought it was the perfect width. Like, you could have done it wider, but then you wouldn't have gotten 4 columns out of that. Okay, so it is 9 inches this way and scored at 4 1/2. So you can grab your burnisher, your bone folder and burnish. Now we can go ahead and glue the back of this. And then that's going to, what I do is I open this up and I'm just going to center it top to bottom, left to right. And don't worry about the flap right here, because as long as you get this centered on the card, you should be okay. Oh, and as long as you don't move it, that helps too. So once you get it in the spot, don't try to open it right away and show yourself that you got it good. Like, give it a second and then hold it. And now you should see that that's good. Okay, then, so Laura Sullivan, that is something I sell. It's called the DSP Sampler. And you can, I have like 6 left. Once they're gone, they're gone. I usually make, I plan for 24 of them, and one is mine, so I always have 23. And I think I have 6 left. They're $25, and if you do mailing, it's $9 for the padded priority envelopes. I think it's $34. So I do have them. What I need you to do is send me an email, though. If you're interested in it, send me an email so I can make connections with you to get it to you. Okay, so then that little guy goes at the top, and then this is like a 3/4 inch by 1 15/16, I think I did. It's just slightly smaller than the 2 1/8. Okay, so that goes there. I think we're at a point where we should do some stamping. All right, so let's get that off to the side here and close up our glue. You guys, I find if I don't close up my glue, I get a glue ball on the end. Okay, so this girl is a red rubber stamp, so I'm not gonna pull out the piercing mat. And the trick that people had to learn in class last night, the first person that went and stamped this, I think, put it more in the center like this, and then there's no room for the butterfly. So when you stamp her, if you are stamping her, you need to keep the net to the left, okay? And so when the net is to the left, it gives you a little room to put that little butterfly up there, okay? So let the ink transfer to the paper. And you saw what I did is I did kind of upside down stamping, so it was easier for me to hold the ink pad because it's a little bit lighter than this block and less bulky. Okay, so we got her stamped. Now there's a little butterfly up at the top. So she's about to catch her butterfly. Now there's an inside piece. The inside piece is the tall, skinny one, where the outside piece was the shorter, wider one. And you can tell which is which because that needs to fit on there, and then this needs to fit in here. So, sentiments. I'm gonna grab my scrap because I always like to align the edge. So this says celebrate every beautiful thing. So, okay, I think I got it. So I'm gonna go and put that here. Good. All right, so we've got the sentiment near the top, and then I am gonna put another little butterfly right at the top because I like to decorate. Hi, Elaine Rebeck. So there we've got our inside ready to go. Now, ink is done, and I will clean these later to save us a little time. All right, so the butterfly and the net. What did I do? If you look at this up close and personal, you can see it's not white. It's actually got a little blue hue to it. How did I do that? There's something they call the blender pen. What is the DSP book? Marsha Long's asking. I'll show you guys one more time here. This is something I put together with every new catalog. You get the white paper, you get the color swatches, and you get the DSP swatches. And all you have to do is glue it together. And it is for every designer paper that's in the mini catalog. And I also include the Sale-a-Bration and specialty. So these are all the specialties, like the brush metallic, craft, and silver foil carried over. And then you've got the 3 new ones over there. So this is a book that I sell. I don't sell the book per se. I sell the paper. Oh, I can show it to you guys. In just a second, I'll sorry to interrupt, but I'll get it because otherwise I'm gonna forget. I'll show you. actually, I have them ready, and this is what you get. So you get all the sheets right here. So all of them, and they're all printed for you. I have my friend Rachel prints them. Kelly helps me organize. And then what you get is you get all these little baggies, and each little baggie has the DSP swatch and it has the color swatch. And then what you need to do is glue them. So assembly is required, and you need to have a notebook like that binder and some plastic sleeves. So no, this is what you get for the $25 because this is a lot of work, you guys. I will tell you, honestly, my brother and I worked on this on Christmas Eve from 7 until 10 p.m. And then on Christmas morning, we worked on it again for a couple hours. And then Kelly had to do all the creating of the pages, and my friend Rachel prints them. And you guys, I don't make a penny on it. I do it as like a, yeah. So, I mean, it includes product because it includes paper and like white paper, but it's for 25 bucks, like you got to provide. So what I do is I have a binder that I rotate. So I keep the same binder, and you just need page protectors. And then when one retires, if you decide to keep it, you can. Or if you're not going to use it because you have the next one, you can just swap out the pages. But otherwise, you don't have to keep buying more binders. You just need the page protector. So yes, what you get again is this from me for that. So you get all of this. You guys, and cutting this, Tyler, 2 days before Christmas, Tyler helped me cut all the designer series paper. My Aunt Karen punched out all the little things. It was a family affair, you guys, to put that together. We made 23 of them. Holy Moses. Okay. Oh yes, what a nice brother. So Tom is the one that goes to Hawaii with me. So he marks his calendar 3 times a year. He helps me with the DSP samplers. So he helped me with it the week before we left for Hawaii. He helped me with it in August, and now he helped me, and he's got it on his calendar for 2022, the next one. So he's committed. So, yes, Linda, he sure did help me. This is the 3rd one that he helped me with. But the crazy thing was that he helped me with it on Christmas Eve of all things. That's what we did. And then we played games. And so it worked out good. So, okay. All right. So then, you guys, we were talking about the blender pen. So I'm not sure. I'm going to try to put this up here so you can see it. So when you use a blender pen, it's got a solution in it. And what you do is it blends the ink, right? So this doesn't work with permanent ink, but it works with water-based ink. And so what it does is it blends it. So it made it look like the net had some color to it. But then I also used it to kind of shade the butterfly slightly. And so now it went from having no color on it to having some blue color. So a blender pen is a great coloring tool to have in your arsenal. You definitely, if you don't have them, we sell them. Stampin' Up! Has 3 to a pack, and they last a long time. Both ends are the same, and when you're done, you just take it and kind of wipe out any color that is in the tip, and then you can use it for any color going forward. All right, you guys, by the magic of TV, I definitely did not color my girl. So we're going to have to do that together as a group. And maybe if it gets boring, I will not finish, and I could always finish it later. But I colored her or modeled her in my image. So the closest thing I can find to the dark brown hair is the bronze blending, bronze blend. Do they dry out? Yes, they will eventually dry out. They are like a marker. If you leave the cover off, it'll dry out. If it's cracked, it'll dry out. Like, I mean, they last a long time in general, but I've had blender pens 10, 15 years and they're fine. If you store them flat, make sure, all markers should always be stored flat so that it's not draining the solution. You can't see my email. Can you see it now, Marcia? It's right there. chrismbertram@msn.com. Yeah, if anybody's interested, I have 6 of those DSP samplers left. Send me an email. You can either buy it through my website with a credit card. Just know that it charges $1 for the convenience fee. And if you want to pay me with a cash option, then we can figure that out privately. So I will have to say, guys, I'm a white girl, so I am definitely going to make my girl white. And that's where it's always up to you. You guys, it's awesome. Stampin' Up! Is coming out with a new blends collection called Skin Tone. And they have maybe 10 different skin tones, because everybody's skin color is different. And you can mix and match and blend together to give yourself a really customized skin color. And so that is available to demonstrators right now. We can order it in the pre-order. And then next month, you as a customer can order it as well. So that's super cool. So you can really personalize your stamping. So I need navy. In the navy. You can really personalize your coloring of like people when you do your cards. I have a navy. Hang on. It's right here. It's like I used it earlier, so I needed navy. So yes, it's super cool. Deb said that she's had blender pens for at least 10 years and couldn't believe they are still good. Yeah, blender pens, they do last a long time. I can't tell you like if they last forever, but they definitely do last. So you guys, when it comes to stuff like this with coloring, I generally don't use blends to their full potential. I mean, I can color, but I'm not the biggest, craziest color in the world. So like you could use the dark one here and then blend on her crease lines of her dress. But you guys, I am not that complicated with that. So I just want to get her dress colored. And so I'm not going to do any crazy blending, but I am going to try to make sure like with, so this is the dark one and then there's a light one and you could definitely give your whatever you're coloring different tones, but I just try to make sure it looks nice and even and professional. Okay. Laura said hers are 10 years and it seems dry this week, but just realized it in my lamp. You know, and there's no way to add solution to them either. So, so there's our girl, you guys. That's me. And we're just going to glue and put that on and keep her moving. Oh, the number of comments are covering my email. So, oh, I see what you're saying. So that doesn't always happen. Like when you watch the replay, I don't think that the number of comments shows, but we'll do that. How does that sound, Marcia? I hope that helps. That should be better. I get what you're saying now. Okay. So little glue happy here. Is that the Night of Navy blends? Yep, these are the navy blends. There's a dark and a light, and I used just the light one for her dress. Okay, so we're gonna pick this guy up, put it in, oh, here's the other disclaimer, you guys. We noticed in class last night that your white piece here is a hair long. It's like more than a hair long. Oh, you're very welcome, Marcia. You guys, before you get glue happy, make sure you put it in here because some people in class had to trim off the bottom. There wasn't a lot of wiggle room with this matting in here. And so the white piece ended up long. So do me a favor and everybody just double check them and trim them a hair shorter if they need to be shorter. And that was what we learned in class last night. Okay, I did not make the bow, so you guys can see the bow maker in action. I have bow makers here for sale. They are slightly bigger than this. My friend from home in Johnsburg makes them now for me. And so they're slightly bigger. They're $7 in case anybody needs one. Shipping is usually $4 or $5 depending where in the world you live, or I should say United States. I did not give myself a lot of ribbon here, but I'm still gonna make a nice little bow here. Hi, Lisa Nealon. Okay, so this is a bow maker. It really assists you. Oh, I lost you guys again. So the camera did the same thing as it did the last time. It froze. So I know how to fix it. I think. So it's crazy, you guys. It's been doing this for about a month. And so we are going to see if all I have to do is that, and it should go back. All right. Perfect. Okay, we're back in business. So that is the bow maker in action. And you guys reach out to me. Email me if you're interested in one. So let's, oh, okay, so you guys, that was the bow maker in action. You guys were completely staring at my forehead. So what do we got left here? So this thing now, so she gets popped up on here. And we're going to use some dimensionals for that. So what you got to make sure you do is there is a part that overhangs and you don't want to have any dimensional hanging over. So just be careful when you line these up that you don't go close to the edge because it will not want to shut for you then. Okay. So now those are going to go or this little guy is going to go here. You guys can see, I'll hold the card up. I did an outline of her dress with the skinny tip of the marker, and then I colored her dress with the wider tip. And I definitely got some two-tone action. You can see it's darker along the edge and then lighter in the middle. And what you can do, if you want it darker, like you can see here, the difference between the two, one dress is darker than the other, that's where you just go back and you can color her again. And you can add another layer of color. Now, when that dries, it'll be a little bit darker than what it was. All right. Oh, somebody shared my email. Thank you so much. Okay. What's left? A glue dot is what we need. Now that we have our bow made, grab a glue dot. Yes, Marcia, and I still have 10 sets of these left in case you're interested. Okay. So the glue dot holds the bow on, and definitely grab your ribbon scissors and trim off the tails nicely. And in your kits, I've already made your bows for you, so you should have cutesy little bows to put on your cards right away. And then Stella needs to get off of her break. So what you could do is Stella the dress, which would be super cool. And then the other thing you could do is Stella the DSP at the top, and you could Stella the DSP at the bottom. Okay. The navy and yellow. So, Anne, it's funny that you say that. I was so uncertain of the navy and the yellow together, and I had to get approval from somebody. So Diane Bogenhagen was over, and I'm like, Diane, does this look okay? And she said, yes, I love it. And I'm like, okay, then I'm leaving it. I'm not going to change anything. So, all right, you guys, these are some of the new brass butterflies that are in the mini catalog. They are awesome. So you got 3 butterflies in your kit. You either got 2 large and a small, or you got 2 small and a large, okay? And so what you're going to do is just pick them off of the waxy paper, or there's like a plasticky paper, and just put them on your card. And there we have it. Another beautiful card. Love it. So I did not put more glue dots on my bow to hold it down. This crinkle ribbon is pretty good. It usually configures to the form that you want it to have. So yes. So, and I'm glad that you commented that the navy and the yellow, you like it, because I so second guessed it. And I hemmed and hawed over, do I need to change it? But I'm like, no, it's like soft, and I want it to be like sunshine, like the day is bright and sunshiny. So boom. Okay, we got that one done, and we are gonna keep rocking and rolling, you guys. When I get into the card making, I know that some of you are new to me and you try to keep up, and I always tell people you cannot try to keep up with me because I am a speedy stamper. The great thing about the video is you can, after I'm done, you can always go back and watch it and stop and start and stop and start. And I never expect people who get kits from me to keep up with me, because you have to do your stamping unless you've done your stamping ahead and you're trying to do that. So never feel rushed to try to have to keep up. So a lot of people that are, if you're new to me watching and just got kits, what I recommend, and people have also told me they recommend that you watch and listen to the video, see how I put the cards together. And then when you go to make them afterwards, you can usually do them probably like really fast or lickety split afterwards. So, but yeah, to try to keep up with me is a little crazy. All right, let's see here. So Deirdre, the navy and the yellow are amazing color combination. Thanks, Deirdre. Woohoo. Okay, you guys, we are gonna do Miss Daffodil Delight next. And this one, I think I love the colors. Are you on YouTube, Marcia? I share every one of my videos to YouTube. So my YouTube channel is called Cards by Christine. And after the Facebook Live is done, I download the video and upload it to YouTube. And I always schedule them for Saturday mornings, actually. All right, so in your kits, you guys, you do have a piece of basic black. So this one right here, the Sale-a-Bration product that is featured, and I had this open earlier, but I'll show again. The Sale-a-Bration product is the Daffodil Delight, I think. One more. Daffodil Afternoon. So these are all the different papers, and I used this one and this one. And when I saw this color combination, I was instinctively drawn to the Flirty Flamingo and the Pale Papaya. So that's where this book came in handy for me, because I could pick out the colors very easily. So you have your basic black, and it's the 4.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and burnish that. Now, when I was working on this, I thought, well, I want to use the 2 different DSPs to bring them together. They complement, and so the Pale Papaya got brought in then too, because I needed a little exciting layer behind. So when you guys get your kits, you're gonna get 2 pieces, one like this and one like this, and this is the inside of that piece. So I didn't have to use more paper. I conserved paper, and so that's gonna go here, and it's okay because it gets covered up. Nobody will ever know that. So you also have this piece like this. Now this is the scalloped contour dies that got used, and you have a piece of vanilla for your inside. Their designer paper is 5 1/16 by each of them are 2. They slightly overlap, so you're not gonna try to have them meet in the middle, right? You're actually going to have them overlap slightly. So we'll get to that in a second. This little guy is 7 Ace. Hi, Teresa Carls. 7 Ace by 2.5, and we'll stamp a sentiment on there. I pulled in an oldie but a goodie, you guys. This is from the Painted Poppies die set. And you got one of them. And if you need to do a little pokeroo, just poke any little parts out that need to come out. And what you're gonna do first on this little guy is Stella it, because it's easiest to Stella it when it's like this and not on the card. So Stella got off of her lunch break and did a little work here. And what you're gonna have to do with this guy though is you actually cut it in half. Okay, so part of it, it's really hard to see it, but part of it goes up here and part of it goes down here, and it's the seam. It covers up the seam, right? I liked adding that. Okay, you also have some very vanilla lace, which will go behind. And then you also have a piece of, hi Carissa, you guys have a die cut that looks like this, and you also have a piece that looks like this big. So I never know what you guys have, and in this case, I provided the die cut flower and the original size of like a rectangle. So what you guys have to do, let me get one of mine out here. I'll have to get a scrap here. I think what I gave you was about 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So just so you guys can see what you got, it was a piece, something like that. Okay. All right. So that's what you've got in your kit. So in this case, let's do a little stamping and get that done. So on this one, I only used 2 ink colors, a Memento. Hi, Feline. I have a Memento and then the Pale Papaya. And the stamp set that we're using, oh, here's the Daydream, Daffodil Daydream, and that's where the little dots come from. It's got Happy Mother's Day, Easter Blessings, a little butterfly, this thing, and then 2 flowers. Okay, and that has matching dies. Super cool. So you can make very, very pretty flowers with it. Pretty daffodils. Okay, so I'm gonna Inky Dinky do this one. And if you guys don't have this Daffodil Daydream, another graveyard shift. Yes, I know those nights. They are killers. This, I gave you guys the rectangle piece. In case you don't have these actual daffodils, you could put any other kind of floral arrangement in here. So stamp that good. And now that was it for this stamp. So put that back there. Now the other daffodil stamp goes on the inside. So there's a smaller daffodil, and you can ink that up. I always like to do the inside. And we're gonna put this here. Now this flower faces that way. So normally I put things in the bottom right corner, but in this case, my flower is looking this way. So it's gonna be looking off the page. So I'm gonna actually put it on the left-hand side so that it's gonna be kind of looking up at the sentiment. No, half-hour shifts. You guys, the 12-hour shifts, those are killer shifts. Not good. Okay, so there's our flower in the bottom corner. All right, then sentiments, you guys. Now, I designed that piece to be that size so it would fit a few different things. So it would fit Easter blessings, and then the Happy Mother's Day fits in there, but there is a with sympathy, and the with sympathy comes from another Sale-a-Bration set. So I thought it'd be cool to pull this one in again. It's with sympathy from the Special Moment Sale-a-Bration set. So if you have an old different set, Laura, that has a daffodil on it, use the piece of paper that I gave you that looks like this, stamp it, and then use your paper scissors and just cut it out, and it will be okay. It doesn't have, you know, and then with this die, you don't have to use it. It's okay, but I provided it just in case because we talk about being able to do upside down stamping. So what I would do if I had this piece, I would ink this up, and I would line this up, and I'd set it on here upside down, and I generally can get it pretty lined up good. Or lined up pretty good. Should I say that better? Okay. Then this little guy here, I'm going to pull in the piercing mat because this is a photopolymer stamp. And we're going to do, this is a very pretty sympathy card. It is the time of year. My mom was telling me just the other day that during the holiday season, it's like in all of her years of existence, she said that's always the time of the year where we lose most friends and family is the holidays. And so I've noticed it. And so sympathy cards are always needed. And so that's why this is a very pretty sympathy card. Then there's one last thing for stamping, and it has to do with this pale papaya piece here. And I inadvertently did mine already when I make cards for class, I always leave one not put together. And so I got stamp happy and I already stamped this part of it. So I'll share with you guys what I did. There's this dot one here, and all I did, I'll do the back side of it. Oh yes, Mo. So I thought of you when you sent me that coming home card from last year. Mo said that she likes to have the die cut piece and she can try drawing in. So what you could do is look in the catalog and freehand it. And you know, some people like to do that, you guys. And once you try it, you might like it too. But all you're gonna do is take your ink pad, boom, boom, and I did the back side just so you guys see what I did. And you're just making that splatter. It's just creating a little background effect. Instead of having it blank on that background, now you've got those little splotches all over, which just something else to talk about, another conversation piece. Okay, so let's get you guys got a lot of dirty stamps back there. Okay, I think coloring is next because by the magic of TV, I didn't have it done. So now I would take this and go die cut it, or you could fussy cut it, but I do have one done here. So we're gonna grab this one. Whenever I do coloring with blends, I always put a piece of paper underneath so that it doesn't soak through to my tabletop that I have. And so there is a bunch of green on here. So I would recommend using Old Olive, or I don't know if there's Pear Pizzazz, but Old Olive has a light and a dark, and either one work really good. So again, I'm not going to do blending action. I'm just going to color either all light or all dark. You can definitely with this add darkness and light, but I will be completely honest, my light Old Olive is pretty dried out. I have used, loved, and abused it, and it's time for a new one. And I think it's actually in a box that came in instead of my mudroom that needs to get opened up. Just came in today. So there's our little green, our greeny vitamin, our spinach there. Then the other two colors I pulled in are Pale Papaya and Flirty Flamingo. And how I got that figured out is, you guys, I looked at the designer paper. What does the designer paper show? I'm like, I would have never colored my daffodil like that, but because Stampin' Up! Made it like that, that's how I did it. So, hi Nanette, joining late. Thanks for joining late. So, Flirty Flamingo around the edges of the flower, and both of them. And I really, really wanted to do coloring on this one, but you see the back of it, and the back of it is vanilla. And so I'm like, okay, so if you guys want to color your daffodils different, you can. I can't make you do it a certain way. You can do it however you want. But I felt like it needed more. So this is light flirty flamingo. I should have dark because I think dark would show off a little bit better. But it's like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to end up with. I've got just some tips of my daffodils, and they just match the paper. Okay, Old Olive. I don't think there's a pair of pizzazz. You're right, Marcia. So it's my light Old Olive that I would have probably preferred, but the dark looks pretty sharp with it as well. So I think what I'm going to do next is get this adhered to the pale papaya. And all I'm doing is putting 3 dimensionals on the top here. And I'm not going to even worry about the bottom. This goes right on here, like that. Something like that. Now, this little guy here, I'm going to take Terran tape and I'm going to run it along the bottom. I was so happy that there was some vanilla ribbon that would go with this card very nicely. And I'm a little short, so I'm actually going to grab a little more. I was about a 1/4 inch short, and I want to make sure that it's sticking all the way to the end. And, okay, so now that we have that Terran tape all the way to the edge, and it's on the bottom edge here, you grab that ribbon, and you're just going to line. And my mom cut them at 3 inches. In case you guys end up wanting a longer sentiment, you could cut yourself another piece of vanilla. I had her cut them at 3 inches so that you had a little wiggle room. So that is just adhered to the back side of that Terran tape. And then what you'll do is grab your ribbon scissors. Now, if you want to have less showing, you can move it up a hair, right? It's up to you. Grab your scissors and just trim off. Use the paper as a guide and just trim it straight down so that you've got the ribbon like that. Okay, so that's that part. Let's work on this again now, over here. So you could glue the pale papaya down. There's nothing holding us back. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. So that's here. Pale papaya and the black just pop. Hi, Terry. Okay, so then these two will go here and here. So let's flip them over. Like that's like goldy yellow. All right, and I am going to put that one down first. So the main thing is I'm going to put so I have the pale papaya about the same on the top, bottom, and left. And then this one gets picked up and I'm going to put that one at the top. And now I'm going to make sure it's the same on the top, right, and bottom. You guys might, before you get glue happy, you might hold your pieces together and make sure they're the same height. If they are a hair off, you have an opportunity to cut them to match. I mean, they should be pretty close, but in case it's like a 1/16 inch off or something, you could always trim them. Now these little guys, you have to make sure that you find the one with the round edge that goes down here, and this round edge will go up here. And I'm not gonna worry about glue on that really skinny part, but thanks for sharing, Terry. I'm gonna just put a little glue right on the bottom there. And then this one was the top one. And that's gonna go, so because you stelled it, it should, all in all, it's just an added little extra little detail to it to make it look more elegant is what I tried to do with that little piece. Oh, there it is. I couldn't even see it. And then I threw my glue over yonder. Okay, so you guys don't, the liquid glue, be very sparingly with it so you don't get it all over the place. All right, so that's gonna go here. So the reason you cut it in half is because now you have just a little bit on the top and a little on the bottom. What else? So this is gonna go with dimensionals, and I have them here. And I think I'm gonna go with 6 of them so that I don't have saggy middle syndrome. And kind of just goes right in the center, not just plopping it anywhere. Just center, top to bottom, left to right. Now, this guy. Oh, Ruth already ordered this kit. Awesome, perfect. I can't wait to see it come through. So you popped up this side, right? This is flat here, but this hangs off the edge. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna pop this up, but on the end, I need to do a double stack, is what I call it. So otherwise it will be slanted weird. So on this side, very close to the edge, I'm gonna put a dimensional, and then I'm gonna put another dimensional. Now that is gonna keep me flush now, because I'll put one dimensional, two dimensional, and what's gonna happen is this little guy is gonna be off the edge of the pale papaya, just like so. And now it's straight this way, because otherwise that would be curving down and be less height over here. Okay, I feel like this went really fast, this guy, but maybe not. So this one uses the Genial Gems. They are not new, they are in the annual catalog. Some awesome Genial Gems. You're gonna get a pack of these, a whole pack with the ink paper scissors. This is what I featured. And in your kit, you guys got 3 pale papaya ones. They're either too large and a small, so we're gonna put one here, or they're too small and a large. I try to offset stuff so that I don't have to use, so we get different sizes. And find another spot for the other guy. It's hard to see it on the black, so I actually stuck it right in here. So it's wherever you want to put it. And the other thing you could do if you wanted to get a little more Stella happy is you got to be very careful. You cannot blend over the daffodil petals because it'll bleed it. But if you want to do the stems or the leaves, that might work. If you do the daffodil, you've got to be careful not to bleed it, because it will bleed the ink, and then you're going to be not happy with it actually, because it'll be smeary like what happened to the net for the butterfly girl. Okay, then our inside. I almost forgot it was sitting over here out of my eyesight. All right, that plopper still skin that in the inside. You could color your daffodil here too if you want. I would definitely go for it if I were you at home. Make it pretty, match the outside. And if you have a really pretty sentiment, I don't know a sentiment for a sympathy, if there was one in here. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's a saying in here that says, it's okay to feel the feels. Like, I feel the feels. Where would I be without a friend like you? I don't know if there's really, there was a lily set from a couple years ago during Sale-a-Bration that has a really pretty sentiment verse for in the inside. So, oh, I love this card. I'm a flower girl. I love my flowers. And so I was just so happy. I like how I put that ribbon behind there like that and just made it more dainty and frilly. So, all right, you guys, how are we doing? We got one more card and we're gonna show it who's boss. Let's see, I need some lip stuff though, because I've been doing a lot of talking. All right, all these guys are done. And we've got our Utterly Awesome card last but not least. Okay, so let's pull these in and these. All right, so, oh, it's so pretty. Are you guys like that too? When you make a card, you just gotta stare at it for a little bit before you put it away. Okay, so we've got our otters. Otters, big otters. Okay, this one, the stamp set is called Awesome Otters. He's my favorite. Oh, I like him too. He's adorbsy. He's cool too. He holds signs. So I saw somebody's card on Pinterest where, so if you have like that 1/2-inch strip from that one card and you stamp on it, it's like you can put it in his hands, like he's holding a sign up like that. And you just have it so he's holding it, and it could be happy birthday, thinking of you, thank you, all that good stuff. So this is the stamp set free with a $50 order during Sale-a-Bration as well. And the stamps are right here. Okay, so we need those two. Birthday time, party hat, and early espresso. One ink color used for stamp pad, but then I did bring in some blends, and I did not do the magic of TV yet, and I even forgot to color my party hat at this point. So we're gonna, do we want to make it a birthday card? So here's what's awesome. It says you are utterly awesome on the outside, and then you could use it for anything. There's a stamp in here that says it's birthday time, and you could definitely do that. I think for this card, I'm gonna leave it not done, and then whoever gets the card can use it for anything, because this will be one of the cards that gets drawn, or a winner for. So let's grab the kits. This is another fun fold, you guys, because look at that. It's got that little pop up. I love it. Okay, so let's grab the card kit and let's see what's in here. So this is another one where I started to get glue happy. So I already glued the back of that. So I'm going to set that right there. And let's see what's in our kits. You guys, I made all your little bowies for you already. It's that Pool Party sheer 3/8 ribbon. So that's already in your kit. You guys, please be very careful. There are some little sea glass. They're called faux sea glass embellishments. They look like this, all right? They're teeny tiny and microscopic. And everybody got 2. So I cut a pair for you. There's different shapes. So some of you got, like on mine, I didn't use the same shapes. I thought it looked cool not having the same shapes. Some of you might have the same shapes. I guess just, I think either way it'll look cool, whatever shapes you get. There's some that are a little smaller and a little bit bigger. So those are called the faux sea glass shapes. They're new in the mini catalog. Just be very careful opening your kit. They are gonna be lost. So I can tell I got really active with this card because I already stamped the "You Are Utterly Awesome." So that is a stamp that's in here, right here as well. So I stamped it in Early Espresso. Done. You have a piece of white paper in your kit. It looks like this. It is for stamping your otters on. There are no dies that go with this, you guys. It is all fussy cutting, okay? So this is for your otters. Now, when you look at this, you're going to be like, oh my God, what did she do? She Frankenstein this. So my mom and I were starting to put this one together, and I'm like, oh my God, Mom, wait, I can't glue this. I need to do it in class. This is what I get for not setting it aside right away. So the base here is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Simple. It's just a quarter sheet of paper. Then you have a piece of Coastal Cabana, and it's like 5 5/16 by 4 1/16, just so it could be a little bit bigger of a mat. And from that is where this piece came from, okay? So that got cut out of it. That's why you've got this holy weird looking stuff. Then there's the marvelous paper. So one side looks like bed sheets, the other side looks like marble, but when you get this card, it looks like your otter is swimming down a stream, excited that he has a fish for a friend. He's not going to eat the fish. He's just happy to have a friend, I think. So I've already glued. And so what happened was in your kits, you guys, this piece was also cut out of the designer paper. And what I did with my trimmer is I cut all of the scallops off for you already so that you have a piece that looks like this. So you can mix and match your sides. Like, let's say you don't like the marble, you could put that piece there and that would be fine. You can do them opposite like I did. You could do the other where the marble is down here and the bed sheets are on the top. You guys probably are laughing at me that I say bed sheets. It looks like bed sheets. Okay. In this case, a river. All right. So you've glued this mat down, and then you have this piece of white. It is thick white. So when I do bases for white, I do thick basic white. Grab your bone folder and burnish it like that. So this is now going to get glued onto here. But if you want to do any stamping, this is now your time to stamp. And I said I'm gonna leave it blank because then whoever gets this card can just write in here if they want or put a Post-it note in. But if you're going to stamp, now is where you would need to stamp it. But when you stamp it, you have to make sure you're down far enough that it's not in this area right here. It's got to be at least 2 inches down here, like a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Okay, so you're going to stamp down right here. I'd put it something like there in Early Espresso. But again, I'm not going to do a birthday card for this. So once you've got your stamping done, what you can do is put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this piece and then put this on here. So we talked about my Tip Tuesday. This one is a little bit longer down there. And somebody commented that that's good because it can help you open the card easier because there's like a little edge. And I agree that, yeah, I mean, you don't have to cut that off or make it exactly even. But we went through that tip on Tuesday to help figure that out. So now that covers up that whole window, you guys, that was like, what is underneath there? It's going to look horrible. But no, you guys, that is called paper conservation at its finest. This one, oh, it's got glue on it already, but I'm going to put a little bit more on here. So that's when I caught it. I'm like, Mom, we can't put this card together. I need it for the live. So you guys got like a half completed card already. So now that goes there. And then a little bit more glue here on this one. Now, if you want that, I'm not sure if everybody got that dark pattern there, but I put it this way so that, nope. So this one's different. It got cut slightly different. I just went in the machine and got cut. So we're gonna put this one like that, and it should fit in that stitching. If you need to trim it a hair, you could. All right. Then our otters and our inside. Let's keep going on the inside. So you have this piece, you guys. It was actually, it's 4 1/4. You could make it longer if you wanted, but I had 8 1/2 width of paper, and all I did was cut it in half, and that's how I got 4 1/4. The main thing is that you know it's scored at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, go. Okay, so 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, and then 4, and then it gives you this little tab right here. Okay, so I would recommend burnishing them so that they aren't rolled. They're really crisp edges, like that. And then the last little guy, now if you wanted to give yourself a tab, like if you want to make this card in the future, you could make this tab a little bit longer. You could also make this a little wider if you wanted, but the main thing is that we need to glue this tab down to this edge right here. And how I do it is I put the glue on the tab, and then I'm just folding this like that. Okay? So now it's like really straight and flush, and it kind of makes a square or a box, I guess, is what you could call it. I think in my PDF tutorial, you guys, I called it a square, and I put quotes around it because it's kind of like a square. So now you've got the seam here, and so I played with this a little bit, and I thought, well, if you put it like that, then the seam, you see it from the side. You put it up there, you see the seam. So my thought was to put the seam in the corner opposite this fold so that when you put this piece in front of it, you don't generally see the seam at all. It's behind here. So knowing that I want the seam on this outer corner, I'm gonna put glue here and on the bottom. Okay, so that glue, I put my fingers where I didn't want glue, so I would remember, and I'm gonna put a little glue and a little glue. Now I've got the glue in the right spot. One glue goes on the bottom and one goes on the top. And what I'm going to try to do is center it left to right here. And I'm going to kind of wedge it up into, into the fold. I was going to say crack, but I said fold. And then I'm going to just make sure it's nice and flush in the fold like that. And give it a second. If you're using more of a permanent adhesive, like a tape runner type thing, it's got to be very permanent because otherwise it's going to flop right off. Using liquid glue, give it a second to dry. And so now you've got this box in the middle there. And then this piece, all I'm going to do for that, oh, make sure it shuts good too. There, it's shut. I'm going to put a little liquid glue on the front panel here. And that's where this piece is going to go. And when I put this down, I don't want to put it right tight down to the inside because it's not going to want to shut nice. I've actually, when I'm putting this on here, it's a hair off the inside, like a little hair. So when I put it down here, I didn't put it so it was hitting that. I put it so that when you shut it, it kind of folds in nicely. And now it's not going to get caught on the bottom. So if you put that piece too low, it's going to get crunched in there. And you don't want it crunched. All right. Okay, so when you guys have a second, stamp your sentiment. Now this die and this die come from the set Stitch So Sweetly. So cool. All you have to do on this one is a little bit of liquid glue, and that goes on the bottom right hand corner somewhere like so. And you have a bow, and what I would do is take a glue dot for the bow, and there's a little crook right there, a nook, a little bend. That's where I'm going to put the glue dot. And I'm going to stick the bow right into the glue dot and trim my tails. So if you have a tail that it doesn't want to go where you want it to, you can't really do anything about it on this guide. You do. You have a little guy. I'll show you what you could do. So I'm going to trim this one, and then I'm going to trim this one. and he's gonna flip-flop that way. I'm gonna see once, you can't put any glue dots down here, right, because it'll hold it in place, and I'm gonna try putting one glue dot right at the edge here of Glory and flip that, and maybe that'll help hold it. So now it's at least not trying to curve up, it's actually going down a little bit. All right, yay. Oh, you guys, I'm procrastinating on the stamping. Can you tell? We're saving it for last. The best. You guys have been so patient for the otters because they are utterly awesome. Okay. We need to stamp our 2 otters. They should both fit on here, plus your party hat should fit. So there's our one dude. Here's our other dude. And if you wanted to, you could stamp, there's room for a party hat on here, you guys, like anywhere on here. Not gonna do a party hat, we talked about it, so we're good. Let's talk about coloring though. Color me happy. The colors that I used are Pool Party for the fish. There's a light and a dark, and I did do both light and dark. For some reason, I had this feeling that I wanted his head to be the dark, and there's these little fin things down there, or scales, that I did dark. But then I followed up with the rest of it in a light Pool Party. So my fish was two-tone. His belly is two-tone. So we got our two-tone fish. So you can see he's a little bit darker in the middle section. I did use the soft suede color, dark or light, whichever you want. I grabbed dark. I did do the nose in dark soft suede so that you've got his nose done. Easy peasy so far, right? Lemon squeezy. I've got crumb cake for the inner belly. So I've got a light crumb cake, and one of these is bad and one of these is good. This is the better one. Nice. I should probably just throw the, it's bad. Maybe it's not. I'll play with that. I like to use the blends until they are really beyond repair. So, so you've got his inner belly here with some light crumb cake. And when it comes to coloring stuff that has little areas, I generally try to use the fine tip to make my way around. And then I use the brush tip to do the rest of the job. Oh, that's bad. Oh man, that's the bad one. So this one must be good on this side. Oh yeah. So I got a good fine tip and I got a good other one, but they're opposite markers. So on this one, I will just go straight for it because I've got a really nice brush tip here, and I love using the brush tip more because it gives a lot better coverage. And with this, with nice straight lines, it colors really good. So I've got light crumb cake for his, I can call it his inner belly. And now for his outer body, I've got dark crumb cake. You guys, he's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get done, but I think that when you have him done, you're really happy. So the dark crumb cake, just be careful not to color his eyes. I'm using the fine tip again in the intricate areas, and then I'm gonna follow the rest of it up with the brush tip. So you got his little paws here, his little paws down here, and then over here, oh my goodness. At least with this one, his paws are contained inside of the image where it's so much easier to cut, where that one is a pain in the butt to cut. So I'm gonna work around his face. You guys, there was no magic of TV tonight, really. I really didn't have anything done. Oh, I did have a little bit of assembly done ahead, but now I figured out why. So I had an extra set of otters in class last night, and I didn't know why. And here I was supposed to color them and have them ready for the magic of TV, and I ended up giving them to Naughty Nancy in class so that it would help her stay ahead. All right, so I flipped over to the brush end, and now I can make fast tracks because I can just go around in circles here and can just, straight lines are great with the brush tip. So now I'm gonna flip this way, and you guys, I'm definitely a right-handed person if you can't tell. I could never do this with my left. So I always do better with the angle, like the white part on the left, because then I can get really close into it All right, so one dude is done. This, just don't get his eye. We don't want to give him any brown eye. That would not be good. So I generally always try to get the left side done first as I go, and then I flip around and then fill back in what I missed. Okay, and then when you're all said and done, you can look at it and see if there's any streaky lines that you need to touch up. You guys are getting a blend little lesson here, not on like actually blending, but you get to watch it in action. And I go back and just make sure there's no line action going on anywhere, so you can come back and kind of fill it in. All right, now you get to watch because we want to finish the card, right? So you guys are, I'm buying you some time to keep up with me here for on this one at least. So this one is super easy, you guys. Look at all these kind of straight lines going on, and you just kind of roll around the tail. I like to leave the little white border. Don't worry about that water line thing. That's going to get totally cut off right there. And if you don't like to leave a little white border, you can cut it off. It's your discretion. Hi, Carol Fox. Okay, so we got one done. He's the easy peasy one. This guy's the pain in the butt one. So I start at the top so that when I get to the tail, I can just roll around it. Or if I start at the tail, then I always come to the end and I don't have a lot of paper to hang on to. So we're gonna make sure I'm on one of my swap cards. So I use this for a swap. I cut off his tail accidentally, like the tip of his tail. And so I ended up using it for one of my, I swapped it out, and but it was funny. I thought of my mom. My mom accidentally did that to a cat on the farm. She was trimming the bushes in the landscaping, and there was a cat in the way, and she snipped off the little tip of his tail, and the cat had no idea it happened. It's just a happy cat, and just, it wasn't intentional or anything. It was just a complete accident. So I thought of that when I accidentally cut his little tail off. I thought of my mom, and that was probably 15 years ago. And that cat lived for a long, long, long time after. It just had no little tip on its tail. So it happens. It's a part of being on a farm. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. So, all right, we're going to cut off a few of his little hairs on his head. So he got a haircut in the process. Look at that. Not so bad, you guys, right? But I would not want to do 50 of them or even 10 of them, which I did. I had 10 of them to do for my swap. So, okay, so that needs to go there and that there. Perfect. These guys just put a little glue in their belly section right there, right there. And this little guy, he's just swimming in the lake or a river, let's say a river. He's just hanging out, so happy and content. This one goes on the inside, and when you put him on here, you just go somewhere in there. So when I cut down the 6x6 paper, you guys, I had this was the width of it. When I cut off, you know, from this section, that was what was left on the end, and that's what determined how wide this was. That's honestly how that went. And he's just hanging out. So now this would be cool if you had a little like half-inch strip of paper. You could actually put that underneath his arm. Oh, he's not dry here. All right, Feline, have a good night at work. We'll catch you later. So you could put a little sign here that he's hanging on to like that. That would be so cool. All right, we're not done. If you have any kits left, would you put me down for one? I can do that. I will definitely try to remember that. Because we're at the end, so I should remember that one, Feline. Message me tomorrow, too, when you're done with work, and we'll figure it out. So then you guys have some of the sea glass, and I just put 2 of them on. I know that we like to do 3s, and I made them look opposite, kind of, so they weren't meant to be identical. We like to do 3s, but I didn't know where to put a 3rd one on here. I honestly was at a loss for the 3rd one. Stella. We're going to Stella the fish a little bit, so he's a little glistening. And I thought about doing their bellies. But the other thing, too, when you guys don't know what to Stella and you want to Stella something, doing the edging of stuff like this, like the little scallop border, is something that would be fun and unique, too, just to put a little bit of glitz on here. So we're just going to go all the way around town on this one. Cindy, I saw your little post here that you want a kit too. I have 10, so I should at this point still have some. I know Ruth messaged in here that she was taking one, so should be good to go. And if I don't, I'll let you know, but for the most part, I think I'm okay with enough kits for people who want them tonight. So, Oh, it was so hard with the holidays, you guys. I know, and getting into the swing of things, I wasn't like published with my classes, like, and had pictures of this one until right before the end. So it was hard to, I had to kind of guess how many kits to make on this one. So here's our finished card, our finished completed card. You pop it up, and there he's like, peekaboo, I see you. All right, you guys, we got all 4 of them done, and it's the hour where I always say, which one do you like the best? So all 4, so completely kind of different, but that's the awesomeness, not a word, I get it. But that's the best part about one of these kind of cards classes where it's not a stamp set that is used on all of them like my Sweet Bundle classes, but I get to pick 4, and I'm trying to feature Sale-a-Bration product. So these are the 4 that we got, and they feature 1, 2, 3 types of the designer paper, and 1, 2, 3 stamp sets. I think 1, the girl, the words, and then the otter. So I got 3 stamp sets. So I do a Sale-a-Bration Hoorah Rah card class at the end of February, and then that one's going to feature some of the other Sale-a-Bration product like driving. Oh, I have 2 of them done already. I have 2 done already, you guys. So you like them all, you love them all, but you guys love the otters. If I had to guess what the #1 stamp set for Sale-a-Bration is going to be, I would guess that it's going to be the otter. So, okay, let's look at these. You guys, so in case you're wondering, I have a Sale-a-Bration Hoorah Rah towards the end of February. And this one I'm going to be doing this card right here, the Hello Friendly or Friendly Hello. And then there is a flower set on the inside, and then the driving by. Oh my gosh, you guys. So this is so fun. You have like a girl in your life, a daughter, a niece, a mother, a sister, anybody that loves bright, cheerful, fun cards. It says, so the stamp set's called Driving By, and it's got a Herbie love bug. And I put some gray ribbon on the bottom to make it look like the road. And then when you open it up, there is this little, this is the piece that goes on the inside. And isn't that adorable? So it uses the sunshine and rainbow paper, and then the Driving By stamp set. I did pull in some clouds and some birds from 2 different sets, but you didn't have to put the clouds or the birds on if you didn't want to. And the stamp, the sun comes from somewhere else, but you could totally improvise. But yeah, so those are 2 for the, it's called Sale-a-Bration Hoorah Rah. It's towards the end of the February, somewhere like the last week of February, because that's the end of Sale-a-Bration. You can always find the information if you go to cardsbycrispy.com. It's like February 24th or 28th. I gotta make 2 more. And so the other 2 are one's gonna feature Island Vibes. I'm not sure, you guys. Oh, I got it back there. It's on a pile. You would think that Island Vibes would speak to me, but I think I need some inspiration help on that one. So I'm waiting on that one. But the Calming Camellia, that one is going to be the other card. So it's 4 cards featuring all the other Sale-a-Bration products that I haven't had the opportunity to use yet. So yes, the VW bus with the dye background, trippy. Isn't it cool? Yes. So whenever I have the cards designed for a class is when I can photograph them and add them to the website and also create the Facebook event. But if you go to my website right now, you can always read up on what classes are coming out. And in the classes for the monthly and like Sale-a-Bration Hoorah Rah or today, I don't list the stamp sets that I use, but when I do my video showcasing the cards, I generally try to say what they are so you guys can see if you have them or if you have something similar. It's when I do my Sweet Bundle classes, then I always feature, and like Let's Just Stamp, Ink, Paper, Scissors. Those are classes that I do that actually call out what stamp sets I'm featuring. But I love doing these classes where it's a variety of products because it's so fun to create with different things. So, all right, you guys, I think that I saw lots of people saying that they love them all, but I'm really getting lots for the otters. So I was really happy with how the otter turned out. I really wanted him to look, I hope you guys think he looks like he's down a river just relaxing with his fun fish friend. So, okay. All right, so we got our cards done. So these are the 4 cards that I do for the drawing. So those that are new to me, I know that there are new people that have been commenting. So if you're new to me, what I do is if you've commented in the video, like at some point, I see your name. Hi, Aunt Marge. I see at some point that you commented. And what I do is I take the names and I do a drawing. And then in the next class or 2, I announce who the winners are. So speaking of that, I have the ink, paper, scissors cards from December 22nd. It was the Monday before Christmas. And all through the house, everybody was stamping, even the mice. It didn't rhyme, I know that. But so I have ink, paper, scissors cards to give away, you guys. I do have one set left. I had an extra one that I had made 36 cards, and so I got the extra embellishments and stuff to go with it so that I have it. And if anybody's interested in it, it's available. I believe the price for mailing was $30 because that was last year's pricing. So as I show these cards and who the winners are, if you were on the fence about it and you didn't get it and you still want it, I have one. And the first person that I hear that wants it, it's going to go in the mail to you tomorrow. Okay. So I pulled, I had an extra, like a ribbon, and I had an extra embellishment pack that I got an extra for myself. And I was able to just put it together in case somebody does want it. So that's how that happened. Oh, you guys are still loving the otters. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the camera down and we're gonna do these cards. So these were the ink, paper, scissors from, and there's a video. There's also a PDF tutorial. So if you're new to me and you just started watching, I did this class back in December. Okay, so winner, chicken dinner. Da-da-da! Okay, the greeny one goes to Diane Oliver Sanders. Your name was drawn for this beautiful card. So I need your address. I do not have it. And then, drum roll, Patsy Husson, Husson. Patsy, you are the lucky winner of this beautiful pink card. Drum roll, winner, chicken dinner of this one is Kathy Groves. Girlfriend, I know you're watching. I have your address, so I know where to send that one to. And last but not least, drum roll, and this was a belly band card, you guys. This is a thick card. Oh, and it's not going off because there's a Post-it note, and we're going to go like that. And so this flips up, and then that goes like that. And so it is an extraordinary, awesome card. And that card right here goes to none other than Kathy King. Woohoo! Kathy, you were picked for that one. I love it. I know where you live. Well, not personally, but I have your address. So you guys, reminder, I have one of these left, and it came with a goodie bag, and it came with the 4 card kits. So I do need a couple addresses for those people. Now, we are going to do the drawings, you guys, the drawings. And okay, so every month I do some drawings. I do a top fan drawing. And so how you become a top fan is by commenting, liking, sharing, loving my page, and sharing me with your friends and family. And Facebook assigns top fan badges to people, and I can go in and see who the top fans are. And I do this at the end of the month. I shouldn't say the end. I do it usually on the 1st or the 2nd. Well, this time I did it on the 2nd. So you had a couple extra days in case you were really hot on liking stuff over New Year's Eve weekend. So, and Deb Norman has issues with her Facebook that it doesn't allow her the top fan badge for some stupid reason. So I know that there are people that happened to, and I can add you if I know that you need to be added. So Deb, I do have you on here. And Bellinger, I added you too because for some reason Facebook is being stupid and not putting you on as well. So I can do that. I have the power and authority to do that when I want to on my business. So we had 78 top fans, you guys. So I don't know, Deb, why you don't have top fan, but I know you're a top fan, so we don't have to worry about it. I have you. You're number 77. So I'm going to do 3 prizes. So I'm going to go to random number generator and we're going to pick 3. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to move right to the monthly creative challenge. And we're going to go, hi, Kathy Jackson. We're going to go, I think I got your, so Laura, I think I got a top fan badge. You know, I'm not going to read through all the names, but I was going to look to see if Laura is on here really quick. Laura Sullivan. Yep. Number 21. So, you're welcome, Anne. So then we're going to do the monthly creative challenge. And I had 12 unique people that submitted cards for the monthly creative challenge. So we'll do 1 prize for them. Class card challenge, I had 9, so we'll do 1 for them. The Be Happy Stamper challenge, you guys, we had 7 people that gave me ideas for Tip Tuesday. So we'll do a drawing for you. And then I have the announcement of who the newsletter winner is. And then we have the bingo board. And there were 64 bingos, you guys. So we're going to do 3 prizes for that as well. Randy, it won't give you a top fan badge. So let me just see if you're on there, Randy. It does. You're number 62. So I don't know why you're not seeing it, but Facebook did tell me that you are a top fan. Everybody except for Deb and Ann was on there. So I have 76 people. So Cindy Runtree, let's see here. I'm just going to check real quick as long as I got you guys. Cindy, you are correct. So we will add you because I know that you like comment a lot. So you will be number 79. And I will keep you, as long as you keep actively participating and liking and commenting and sharing, and I see that, I have no problem keeping you on the official list. So I don't see you on here, where I did see the other people that did say something. So, okay. And Randy, I don't know if you're not seeing it, but definitely it has you in the list here, and you were in the middle. So, so I know you're there. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and flip the phone down, and you guys can watch the random number generator with me. And let's flip it down so you're not staring at my forehead with me. We're going to go here and random number generator. Random. Okay. So we talked about top fans. We're going to do 3 of them. So we have 79 peeps here. I'm going to change this to see comments there. Okay. Marsha, I thought I was on, but not sure. It shows Randy's name. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that is awesome that it shows it. So sometimes you don't have to do anything and it changes it and it puts it on there. Sandy, you're on there. I see you. Okay, 79, and we're going to hit the word generate. Number 16, Penny Powell. Woohoo, from Florida. And number 25, Mary Drummond. Woohoo. I can put your prize in with your product share that you just got. Yay. Okay. And number 39 is Sue Volts. Oh my gosh, Sue, you're going to be so ecstatic. You always want to win. And you got lucky this time. And you know what? For good measure, we're going to do one more. We can't. What are the odds that number 25 got picked again? And number 20, Kimberly Cronauer, you are a lucky winner. Okay, well, random number generator was very partial to this side of the board here. Okay, so we're going to go here, and I'm going to put a Post-it note here so that you guys can't see the newsletter winner. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, monthly card class, monthly creative challenge. There were 12 people, and generate number 4, Tammy Steckling. Very, very cool. You got that prize, which I don't know what it is yet. We'll find it. Oh, wait, we're not doing 2. We got to put in here 9 people. So now the rule is, you guys, if Tammy or anybody else wins, gets their number picked, we pick somebody else so that we share the love. So now we have 9. So like if Tammy gets picked again, she's already got a prize. Number 7, Susie Stocks. Woohoo! You got a prize. I can give it to you at the Winter Creative Escape. Yay, because you'll be here next week. Okay, so the team challenge. Okay, so you guys, I have a team Facebook page group. And speaking of which, now is the best time of the whole entire year to sign up to become a Stampin' Up! Discount shopper or demonstrator, because you are waived for your first quarter. So you wouldn't have to do the minimum amount until June 30th. $300 by June 30th. Okay, so because your first quarter is waived, and then we're at the beginning of the quarter. And at Sale-a-Bration, you get 2 free stamps. That's $125 worth of product for $99. And you get to be a Be Happy stamper, which is amazing. And so I do a team challenge every month. And the team challenge was to give me ideas for Tip Tuesday, because you guys, I've been doing Tip Tuesdays for a year and a half. And I don't think I've duplicated anything. And I have a few hard ones to do that I need to put some time and energy into making them. They'll be like maybe a series type of Tip Tuesday. I don't know. But anyways, so I do a team challenge. And so the challenge was that. And so I have 7 people that helped me. And so I'm going to do a random number generator for 7 people. It's number 5, Tammy Sokolik. Woohoo. Tammy, just so you guys know, Tammy's idea for Tip Tuesday was to show you guys how to do this. So the tip was how to do this. And then I'm going to tweak it into a Technique Thursday with Kelly that Kelly can make a card. So thank you to Chris Dudarenki. She had these at home, and she brought them over today, actually. So what the tip is going to be like how to make this work good in your embossing folder. So I'm not going to talk about that right now, but that's going to be coming up in the near future. So that was Tammy's idea. All right, and then we have the newsletter. Every month I write a newsletter, you guys. I have to send it out tomorrow, so watch for that tomorrow. And I always ask a hidden question, or I ask for some hidden something. And this last one was, what is your favorite Christmas song? Who remembers? I don't know. I had about 10 people that told me their answers, and it has been a long time since we did it. So, hi Ethel King. So I don't remember so I always start off in the newsletter somewhere. It's hidden in there somewhere. It's hidden good, you guys. So I don't make it obvious. And it says, to be entered into the drawing, please answer the secret question or something along those lines. So, the winner, chicken dinner, Melanie Foy from Arizona. You are the lucky winner. So what the newsletter I've always done, it's a $10 product credit. So it's like a gift certificate. And Melanie, so you can place an order with me and it ends up being like a rebate. And so you get $10 off is how it works. And it can't be used for classes. It's always for product, Stampin' Up! Product through me. Okay, it was a Christmas song. Okay, that's what I thought it was. So I got to learn a lot about you guys, about what your favorite Christmas songs are. So, okay, so now our bingo board, you guys. I'll flip back down here. Oh, I've been wanting to know how to do Tammy's tip. Okay, so Anne, that will be coming up in the near future. I'm not exactly sure when we're going to sneak that in, but I'm going to do a double feature where I'm going to talk about it in Tip Tuesday, and then we're going to have Kelly make a card with it in Technique Thursday, so we cover our bases. Okay, perfect. So it was a good tip. All right. So during the month of December, it was Kelly's idea to do a bingo card. So she created a bingo card, and it had all things to do with Cards by Christine and stamping and Be Happy Stampers, and it was a lot of different things. And if you did these things, you got to cross off the box and get bingo. And we did it for every bingo you got your name with a number. And so Kathy Jackson, we saw Deb Norman, Anna, there's a whole bunch of people. I won't list them off. There's a whole, you'll see it when I put it down. But what Kelly wanted me to point out to you guys is there were 2 people that got every square except for one. Deanna Stell had every one except for Be Happy Stamper, which she will be doing that in the future. So when we do the bingo board again, she'll get that one. There's 3 people. Feline Mays also had every one except for Be Happy Stamper. And then Deb Norman had every one except for placed an order to get a class for free. And Deb's on my team and she buys product from herself. So that makes sense. So it was fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed doing it. One of the comments was that it really was a challenge and it was fun to get out and do different things. And we put things on there like stamping with a friend and donating cards. And it was a good way to just remember all the different facets about things you can do in the creativity crafting world. So I had fun watching it and seeing them come through. So I'm going to flip it down. So there were 64 bingos that were gotten. And everybody's was in the post. So there was a post you had to upload your picture to. And so that's where we went to get the names from. So it was a fun bingo, Judy said. Yay! So Judy had 5 bingos. All right. So we had 64, and I'm going to do 3 prizes. So we're going to put, now here's the rule, you guys. If somebody wins, they can't win twice. So I'm going to pick 3 unique names out of here. So by having more bingos, it gives you better odds of winning. So that's how I look at that. So generate number 14. Deb Norman, woohoo! Deb got a bingo, or she had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bingos. Okay, generate 62. Kathy Groves, you are the lucky winner over on that side of the column. I should say page. And number 50, Ann Bellinger. Woohoo! Okay. Again, you guys, I don't have any of these prizes picked out, but I have a vault of Stampin' Up! Products. So I will be going through and picking out prizes for all of you guys. So we have 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 prizes plus the card. So we have lots of stuff to figure out tomorrow. So, all right. So How did we do, you guys? I know we went 2.5 hours. That is a long time, but it is the first class of the new year, and we had a lot to go over in the beginning. So it took a little bit longer than normal. And so I appreciate everybody's patience and sticking it with me till the end here. I really do love to do this with you guys and bring joy and smiles and laughter and fun to your lives. That's my goal. So hopefully I did that for you guys tonight. Always here to help. If you guys need anything, you just remember every order that you send in, as long as you have a minimum amount, you could earn a free class from me. I make it as simple as possible. I loved it. Barb Johnson put an order in, and I asked her what class, and she said, surprise me. And I love it, because then I can put some happy mail in, and then it's a surprise for you guys. And I know sometimes too, then you like to see the cards, and then you can see what it is that we're making. So if you're wondering about the January cards, I did a video back the week before Christmas, and it's called the January something, showcasing the January cards. So you could always watch that video and know that at this point, I believe every class is still available to sign up for. That's about it, you guys. I'll be probably, well, I will be either, I'm going to do live tip Tuesday for you guys at some point. I am on vacation, so I could pop on during the day even. So you have to be dry. Yes, Robin, I am ready for some water. Thanks, Sandy Smith. I'm glad that you enjoyed the class. So I will do a live tip Tuesday for you guys next week. And then Kelly will be taping a technique Thursday. That is something I needed to talk to you guys about. So I know that 99.9% of people that are in my community of stampers are positive, constructive criticism people that generally mean the best. But just know, if I see any sort of negative comments ever, like Kelly had a negative comment on her technique Thursday, I will delete and ban people. I've only done it to 2 people, but I don't want any negativity ever in this community of stampers. And if you don't have anything good to say, my mom always says, don't say it. And you guys that are watching, I know that. I would have to say everybody that has commented and is watching is never an issue, you guys. I don't ever have an issue, but the person who commented that, I'm like, nope, we don't tolerate that here. This is positive, and if it's not something you like, you can go watch somebody else, right? That's how I feel about it. So positivity, upbeat, encouragement, you guys. That is what this is about. We don't need to be putting people down at all. And nobody, you guys, don't take this personally. It's not anybody that's watching me tonight, like that was live. It was a name I had never seen. I never heard a boo from her in the past. And I'm like, no, you don't tell Kelly that something's bad, like, and rat on it. Or I'm like, or like make it bad. I'm like, mm-mm. So I'm protective of my Kelly. So, and I think all of you guys will agree 110% to that. So, but just know, and somebody pointed it out to me and I'm like, yup. Nope, that's not going to happen here in my world. So Kelly is a sweet girl, and she bends over backwards to help me make everything happen for you guys. And I know that she comes in like a cloud of a storm half the time, because that's how she's got her life right now with a lot of stuff that she's managing, but she puts her heart and soul into it just like I do. So we try to do our best and it's better to laugh about it than it is to like criticize something. So okay, yes, that was on my notes. And you guys get it. So I don't have to, like, I'm probably, you guys are good, just so you know that it wasn't anybody that I generally work with on a day-to-day basis. If I've interacted with you before, it was not you. It was somebody that I never talked to in my life. So, all right, you guys. On a positive, friendly, upbeat note, you guys, I hope you have a great weekend ahead. Lots of sunshine, hugs, and happiness to you. Make it a great weekend. Do lots of stamping if you can, and if you can't, dream about it. And just know it will be there for you when the time comes. And just, if you want to do something for yourself this weekend, make sure you make it happen. Or if you enjoy helping others, make that happen too. Just always do something for you and yourself, and for those around you. Make a difference, right? So, and have fun doing it. So, all right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and hugs to you, and we will see you in the future. Bye, guys.